That checks out.
I don't understand how I just turned my headphones fully down. They were off. The volume was off. I still heard it.
Good. Amazing.
This is the curse. You know what this is? This is the party screaming at Matt before the cameras go live.
Yeah.
That's what this is. Like, this meeting is being recorded. That's what this is. That's what that is. All right. So, my lovely fellows, my lovely folks, my lovely everybody's. What the fuck happened last time?
Nothing. Nothing bad.
Nothing of
happened at all.
significance. It was so chill. You know, it was like
Not
One of the
Damn
one of like the happier
thing.
sessions that really like left
Yeah.
off on a satisfying note.
Mhm.
I was okay, I'm not gonna lie. I was low-key so traumatized by the end of that session. I have not gone back to watch or upload it yet because I was just
Nice.
like, I can't watch the end of that.
I mean,
But-
here's the thing. If you watch everything except for the last 10 minutes of it,
Oh yeah, great.
it's a fucking Benny Hill
pretty-
episode. Like, it's just complete idiocy.
Really slid off the
You were
the
given
wall at the end.
you were given the name of the sheriff in town and like where to here's your contact information when you get to town. Immediately get to town, buy an expensive ass room that you could have gotten comped, get drunk, break into a crime scene.
We didn't
Lie to a police officer.
successfully
Fight the police
break into
officer.
the...
It's the thought that counts, Belle.
Listen, Belle also didn't lie to the police officer.
You're right. Belle was very honest.
Oh, yeah,
maybe
and then
stop
lied to the
doing
cops.
that.
And then lied to the cops.
It was very
And then
honest about
tried to
exactly
start a
what we're
fight
good
with the
at.
cops.
We repair wagons.
Would have thrown down with a cop.
We have a review from earlier today that we repair wagons.
Oh my God.
What's our Yelp? Star
5 stars.
status?
5
5
stars.
stars.
4.
The only review is Wendy.
the only.
Yep.
Only one.
One review.
Oh
5
God.
stars.
Love these
Hidden
people.
liquor.
She gave us 5 stars because of Belle lost the foot race.
Sure did.
Barely.
Even though you cheated, it says in like all caps. Known cheater, good repairman.
Your ex wants your business to succeed but hates you.
Yep.
Oh God. All right. So yeah. Yeah.
I
you
mean,
guys
honestly, that's most of it.
got, yeah. You guys got to town. You met Wendy, or AKA Wengliel, the daughter of the brewmaster, Nadabella Strongbrow, and you also met her triplet younger brothers. Their names. Hold on, I have their names here. Oh shit. Yes, Wevitt, Westook, and Wedris.
Unfortunate. This mom wants them to get bullied. She was like, you know what? These kids, they're gonna
She
have
got a
a
thing for
rough
W
elementary
names.
school.
She got a thing for W names. Yeah, Wengliel, Wevitt, Westook, and Wedris.
And Scylla and Wendy have this pact to convince Yvain and Belle that there are 4, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Right.
We're
Wendell.
gonna gaslight you all into
Yes, the
believing
fourth
that.
one, Wendell.
And then the second you do, they're gonna be like, "What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
So you also then met Rick Fire's. You met Rick and Jeremiah. Rick Fire, Silver Brace, and Jeremiah Martello, specifically the halfling and dwarf couple that presides over the Millside Motel, where you guys decided to stay. Rick has a bit of a temper and a bit of a hothead. Jeremiah is a stone cold businessman, but with a jolly air to him. And you guys went and got drinks, started asking around about certain things, started to do a little investigation of your own, got way too drunk, started to try to break
I
into
don't know
the
what
crime
you're talking
scene,
about.
got caught by Sheriff Jamie.
God, I wish we hadn't gotten caught. I wanted to turn drunk Belle into a cloud so bad.
Hang on, we got this. It'll be okay, guys.
Yeah. Well, you met Sheriff Jamie Wainthrope, the town sheriff, and basically the only law this town knows. And she brought you in for some questioning. Found you guys, gave her some credentials, had a little persuasion, had some conversation, got off on a bit of a rough foot, and decided, hey, let's go to bed, start fresh in the morning. We'll meet back up where we originally met at. We'll meet back up at the doctor's office in the morning and go from there. So you all headed back to your rooms at the Millside Motel, and Belle conked out as
I
per
fell asleep
usual.
on the way back.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
hanging off of Yvain's shoulders, like
Yeah, Belle conked
limp
out as
noodle.
per usual. Yvain and Scylla having a incredibly deep conversation as per usual, and Scylla experiencing some moments of introspection and discovery. Need we recap those? But yeah, that is where we have found ourselves. It is now morning. I'd say it is probably about around maybe 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning. It's still wet from the rain the night before. It's a low fog kind of laying in. It's like kind of like you can see about maybe 20 yards down the road, but other than that, it's like it's a soup out there. There's dew on the grass. It's still the road's still a little muddy. The windows have plenty of condensation. You can, if you're awake at this point, which none of you are actually, you could smell the petrichor in the air. But it is at this point that Yvain, you do stir to wakefulness. You had a bit of a rough night after your conversation with Scylla. It was just you had some trouble getting to sleep, and once you were asleep, it was a difficult night, tossing, turning, back and forth. You had a bit of a rough one, but you're up now. It seems like both of your friends are still asleep. Scylla is blessedly asleep, although soaked to the
Soaking wet.
skin. Soaked to the skin, as is the bed next to you, where you guys have kind of cuddled up. It seems like she may have taken a walk at some point, but the previous evening. But Belle's still snoring like a sailor.
She looks over at both of her friends and she thinks to herself in this quiet moment in the morning that maybe she'll take some time to talk to her family gods about what she said last night, just to clarify some things.
Okay. Are you gonna just do that quietly, introspectively here, just in bed? Or are you gonna go out and what you gonna do with it?
Is the chair that's still destroyed in that corner, is it still over there?
It's mostly like a pile of rotting wood at this point. It's a pile of rotten wood with a couple of mushrooms growing out of it in the corner. And you feel like it might start to take over that corner if you don't move it outside at some point. But like moss, it seems to like kind of grow at an expedient rate.
Yeah, she'll use that as an excuse to kind of just go outside and maybe chill on the front porch area of the hotel, take it out.
Okay.
And
Yeah, you're able to like just kind of toss it into like the shrub muddy area of the side of the road there, and kind of just blends in with the rest of the fauna.
she's going to lean up against like a post out there at the front. And she's going to take out, she wears this leather cord around her neck, and it's got a little something. She doesn't take it out often because she likes to keep it close to her heart. But it's something that her mom made for her birthday. It's a tiny little fox, like very intricately detailed fox. It's a kit. It's a baby fox. And Yvain goes by a lot of names. Yvain the Pain in Amon. To her elders, she was named the Stoneflower. You know, to her friends, she's Yvain, but to her family, she's Kit. And so she just wants to take a moment to be Kit, to be that vulnerable, curious little fox. And just kind of reach out in her mind. She's saying this not out loud. She doesn't want to look like a psychopath. Wild Mother, Storm Lord, and anyone else who cares to listen, please hear my prayers to you now. Understand that I didn't mean everything that I said last night, specifically about you lot never doing anything for us. I know that Imalora gave us the trees that makes our homes and the herbs that makes our potions. I know that Cord gives us the rains that fills our rivers. And you know, that last bit of heart when it counts in battle. Pelor brings us the crops. Mr. Magic, Sanray, forgiveness. I mean, you're probably the reason Belle brought that child back from the brink of death, and that's no gift to scoff at. I know that you have given us much. But even with all of your gifts, life is hard here on the material plane. There's starvation and violence and greed and betrayal. There is so much suffering. Things here are hard enough without being told that you're not adequate enough, without being convinced that you're undeserving of care, that you've been broken somehow since childhood. Some of you must deserve to be told to fuck yourselves, because who does that? Who decides that a child is unworthy of being loved and punishes them? Stormlord, I can see that you might be reaching out to her. I hope that your rains are cleansing. I hope that your waters are intended to help her, because if you are the one flooding her mind with these feelings of self-loathing, then I want nothing to do with you. I will not give thanks for that. And I will gladly spend the rest of my days in the desert if it is you. And if it's not, then point me in the right direction. And her hands are kind of shaking at this point. And she feels like a little kid, but she wants to be brave in this moment, and she stuffs the necklace back in her shirt and just kind of lets the air sit still for a moment.
As you're kind of staring a hole through the fog, your gaze, while your hands shake, your gaze never wavers. There's always been that intensity, that unwavering stoicness, like a rock, like a stone, which is the reason you were given the name Stoneflower. The enduring endurance. And as you're staring through the fog, you see it begin to swirl and part almost, and it looks like almost it's trying to take shape in front of you. And in that moment of vulnerability, that curious little fox, you take a couple of cautious steps out from under the eaves of the front porch, reaching out to that point in the fog that seems to be trying to form a shape. And it's at that point where you hear a low rumble in the distance. There's a clap of thunder and a lightning strike. And in that moment, for a split second, for half a second, everything goes white. And then for a millisecond in your vision, you see a flash of a lightning lit castle in a clearing in the woods. And then you're standing back and you're right where you were. And you feel a warm breeze wash over you in that moment as the fog begins to slowly clear from the town as morning fully comes, the sun rising over the heat, burning away the morning fog.
I'm gonna walk back inside. Good morning. Is anyone out here? She's looking for Jeremiah.
Are you just walking like outside the rooms?
Oh, I thought she was outside. Like I
You-
want to go
you're-
back
so
downstairs.
Here's how it's set up. It's a long singular building. It is literally like a Motel 6 kind of thing. It's a long
Okay.
single story building with a front porch on the outside, rooms, and then on the far end there's an office building, and then several other, and then like what looks to be two other doors, one marked private and the other marked lounge.
Oh, okay. She'll step into the lounge to see if anyone's in there.
Okay. So you step into the lounge and you step into a very cozy, warmly lit room by candles, fire, and a crackling warm fire in the hearth. It is polished wooden floors, a couple of small tables and chairs. Some armchairs are set up around a hearth, as well as a small coffee table. And in the corner is a small corner bar with several stools as well. Behind it is a glass mirrored setup with tons of different bottles, and they all look incredibly expensive, but some to you look very delicious. Sitting at the bar, you see Rick, actually. He is currently what looks to be whittling or at least shaving off bits of wood, and he's got next to his bar stool, a pile of what look to be broken furniture bits that he seems to be repairing here at the bar in the morning. Behind the bar, you see, just looks like to be wiping down some surfaces, just cleaning up for the morning, is Jeremiah.
Good morning. Long shot here. Do any of you have just like a cigarette or tobacco?
Rick, he turns and says, I got he says, he's like, oh, I got just the thing for you. And he goes, he actually hops down off of his stool, runs back into the back office, and comes back with a small leather pouch. And he says, this I grow myself. It is a special kind of water weed tobacco. I'm the hold on a second. I'm trying to get the exact phrasing here. Yeah, I'm the local aquaculturalist around here. I deal in specifically fish and aquatic life, and aquatic, shall we say, plant life. And so this is a water weed tobacco. It is incredibly fine. And, this pouch can run about 10 gold.
All right.
Sure. And
She'll pay for it.
Yeah, he passes it along, and then he pulls out his own little set, brings you out a couple of papers, and hey, here you go.
She's gonna sit down on the bar and start rolling it and just be like,
Rough night.
Where could I get some breakfast for my friends?
Oh, right here. Jeremiah from behind the bar says, all righty, I can absolutely handle that. What would you like? Some eggs, bacon, sausages, something like some cakes.
Honestly, all of that sounds fantastic. How much would that run me?
That's a continental breakfast. You all paid for the rooms, and breakfast is complimentary.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right.
Yes, so breakfast for the three of you.
Yes, please.
Right. All right. Anything to drink? A breakfast beer to start you off your day. How about that?
No, I've got to kind of keep a sober mind.
Understood. Right. Well, how about some water then? And he pours you a nice tall glass of water and starts heading back to the kitchens.
Thank you. She's gonna go smoke a little of the tobacco outside and then eventually wander upstairs and see if Belle and Scylla are awake.
So yeah, Belle, Scylla. It is about, I'd say about six in the morning, maybe 6:15. It's still pretty early. Yeah, okay. Belle's conked. Scylla, how are you feeling?
I feel like she had a long night and
Yeah,
is
so
also
you're still
conked.
pretty passed out then. Yeah, both your friends are still out cold.
Hmm.
You've got the morning to yourself, Yvain.
Hmm. How could I prank a Belbin elderberry?
The best question.
I mean, start the list in the A's, I guess. So
She'll just fuck with him a little bit. Hmm. You know
I
what?
vote tramp stamp.
I'm the
She's
DM,
gonna-
so I shouldn't pose ideas, but I have one.
pose it, Mac. What is it?
I can't.
Ah,
Shave off half his beard.
no, she's not that mean.
Does he
She's
have?
just gonna mess with him a little bit. So what she's gonna do is she's got like these feathers and beads that she like uses to adorn her hair.
Mhm.
She'll get in her pack and she'll take out one of the feathers and she'll just like barely touch his nose. Just like barely, just to see if he'll slap it. And then she'll just do that for a while and until maybe he eventually wakes up.
Belle, let me see. Make a con save for me.
Sure. Yeah,
How
let's
tough
do
are
it.
you?
Pretty damn actually. A dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Yeah.
Hey!
Just sleeps right through it. He doesn't even like he goes. "Oh."
His tongue somehow reaches up and licks his
Yeah,
nose.
yeah.
Shit, that's impressive.
All the way up.
I don't know the band Kiss, but I feel like if I
He
did,
somehow inhaled the feather.
Shit.
It's
Captain
was
Hobb
gone,
just-
swallowed.
Um, but I mean, I will remain asleep until something makes me not asleep, is the thing. Like, whether
That
it's
is-
myself punching me in the face, I guess, or somebody like actually waking me up.
I know what'll do it. So she goes back downstairs to the lounge and she waits for the breakfast. And she's eventually gonna bring some food back upstairs. But first she wants to chat up Jeremiah and
Rick,
Rick. Thank you for a little bit.
Rick.
got it. Fucking Rick.
As you
My name's Rick.
as you re-enter the lounge, Rick is actually kind of like sitting there, kind of like like rubbing his hands kind of nervously. And as you approach, he kind of like hops down and approaches you, and says, "I wanted to apologize for the way we seem to have met the previous evening. I have some anger issues that I am trying to work through, and occasionally I tend to lose my temper. I tend to break things, but I repair them and give myself a chance to mull over the mistakes I have made during that repairing process. Maybe doing some repairing to myself internally during that time. I wanted to apologize and properly introduce myself to you, Rick Fire Silverbrace, local town aquaculturalist and fisherman. Pleasure to meet you."
She shakes his hand. She's like, pleasure. Thank you for selling me that tobacco. I needed it.
Of course, absolutely, and I apologize for getting so excited there. It's not often I get to sell some of that personally. It's usually mostly just shipping.
Oh. You're forgiven? Listen, I was a bit of a hellion growing up, so I understand.
Never really grew out of that for me. Just
Oh.
kind of stuck around.
So you've probably caught on about why me and my friends are in town.
I would assume it has something to do with the local unpleasantness.
Yeah. So just as a, something that I have to get out of the way, do you have any theories or leads that you think we should check out?
Personally, not a Bella Strongbrow.
I mean, she's extra, but you think she's capable of murder?
That woman would do anything to drive up business. I guarantee you that. I
Alright.
think she would even cause a giant controversy or some kind of horrific thing going down just to get people to come curious. What are they called? The vultures, people who are obsessed with death and true crime and all that shit. I think just the tourists will come visit or something. I don't know. I think she's just trying to drive up business. Personally, if I had to point the finger at anyone, that's who I got motive for.
Oh, we will definitely take that into consideration. Thank you.
But yeah, it's a hell of a business. I didn't know any of them too well, besides of course the doctor. But we all know the doctor. I mean, he's a doctor. She's a doctor.
Yeah, see, that's what doesn't make sense to me. She's like a medical professional. She's like the only one in town. Why would anyone kill the town doctor?
It beats me, honestly. Like I said, I didn't know her very well. Besides, the occasional.
Can I insight check that?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Oh, that doctor lady. Yeah, I didn't know her. Fuck me. 5.
I mean,
Damn it.
he's hard to read, dude. He's a bit hard to read. He's an angry little fella who, you feel like he could pop off at any second. He's like, yeah, it was a terrible business, honestly, horrible. But I'm just trying to deal with, getting my goods shipped out to the right places, and this has all gotten everything slowed down because just people are wondering, oh, is it going to affect the ship? Is it going to affect the crops? Is it going to affect the shipment? Are you in danger? Are any of your people in danger? Who's manning this? Who's doing that? It's questions that I don't give the fuck about the answers to, and I just want to go do my work,
Well, this affects your work directly. Who do you ship to?
Oh, all over Taldori, mostly to Iman and if I could, Matt can take a look at a map real quick.
Hold for notes.
Mostly to Iman and Stillben, and they occasionally get shipped across to Marquette and to Wild Mountain and other places as a sort of premier product. People pay quite hefty sums for our product, especially over across the Osmith and the Lucidian. But mostly, mostly to Amman, and then from there it goes through to all over. It's produce mostly, but fish. I personally have a personal competition with a certain fisherman in Drina who thinks he has the biggest fish in Taldore, but it's always around here.
Oh, do tell. I do love a drama.
Oh, he goes in, he dives into this long extended history between him and this fisherman you've never heard of.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's it's not Belle's parents.
No, but they know who he's talking about. That guy's a fucking bitch. So
but yeah, breakfast is eventually served at this point as you two are chatting. Jeremiah comes through. Right, well, so eggs, some cakes, and some sausages and bacon, and I've got fruits assorted and chopped here, and coffee as well, and some tea and water. There we go. Orange juice is available, but I don't have any without any alcohol already mixed in.
This will be more than enough. Thank you, Jeremiah.
Of course. If you need anything else, please don't hesitate to let us know.
All right. I'm gonna take a plate of like bacon and sausages and eggs, just like scoops them up and then just be like, this will probably get him up. And then I'll head upstairs. And then I'll just sort of waft it around as I enter the room, just hoping that the aroma will pull him out of his deep slumber.
Belvin and Scylla, both of you make perception checks plus 10. Whatever.
I roll okay.
Whatever it is, add 10.
Dirty 20.
And Scylla.
Because I'm bad at perception.
25.
25. Yeah, both of you. Boing! Just up like the dead man rising from the coffin. Just
Breakfast.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, I was just so hungover that like this is the last of it. And you know, she just like chomps on some bacon. It's just not anymore. I'm so sorry.
deception check immediately.
Right.
Oh, where is it?
Belvin, go ahead and make insight if you want to.
There's no bacon left in the
11.
entire world.
I mean, listen, I have not. Yep, that's a dirty one.
Oh, now I feel bad.
No, yeah, they're like she's been up eating for hours.
Existential crisis.
All right, I'll fix that. Does anyone else taste like they licked a doorknob?
What?
I feel like I am too tired to think about the answer of that question.
My mouth
Oh.
tastes like a doorknob.
This is not fun. You're too hungover.
A
Come on.
doorknob
there's-
specifically? Or
There's
like
food-
just like
Yeah.
copper maybe?
No,
What?
doorknobs.
Why do you know what the doorknob tastes like?
You don't know what a doorknob tastes like.
I can't say I've actively gone and licked the doorknob, no.
Scylla, there are things you need to do in this world. Licking doorknobs is one of them. Everyone should know what a doorknob tastes like.
I'll add it to my bucket list at the
So-
very bottom and say, actually, don't do this.
I mean, I know what it tastes like, but not for like a fun reason. Like my head was smashed into a door. Anyway, we need to go downstairs. There's breakfast. I was fucking with you.
Scylla, you are still very damp.
Do it. Okay. How do you? It's been like hours. How am I not dry? Anyway, I'm gonna go change and I'll see you downstairs.
I'm glad to know that was you, Scylla, because I am not sure what the fuck. What did we do yesterday? Also, Yvain, I need you to make a decision for me.
Oh.
Should I walk there or are you going to carry me there?
No,
I'm
I
not
was
sure
just
which would
about
be
to
better.
ask. Like I was looking you up and down to see if you like wobbling still. Are you still wobbly?
I have not moved from sitting directly up.
Try and stand.
I'm a little concerned about that as a prospect, if I'm being entirely honest.
She sits on the bed. Hop on. Can you,
Okay, sounds
can you
good.
climb up?
I'm really
As-
just imagining Belle just going, meh.
As soo- you say hop on, and Belle, as soon as he starts to move, goes, "Ooh."
All right, fine. Pick him up. Put him on my shoulders.
Okay,
We go
hang on.
downstairs.
I'm just
Hold
imagining
for-
like picking up by like
hold for
one
concept.
ankle.
Okay, we're good.
Oh,
Belle's got some
no.
weird like burps going on as you like
Oh.
carry him down,
Oh yeah.
but I think a
Don't put
16
them too
will make
close
it.
to your head.
You know, that's probably a good idea.
Okay, so
I
you
don't know
guys
if
all
this is any better.
you guys all eventually head downstairs. You have your complimentary breakfast. It is warm, it is greasy, it is delicious, and you all feel marginally comparatively better.
Walking
Uh,
is possible again for everyone involved.
We've had coffee. So, what would you guys like to do? The day is yours.
So if I'm remembering right, we were supposed to find the sheriff once we got into town. We didn't do that last night, so we should probably see if we could hunt her down, and talk to her, see what's going on.
Zero
right?
memory. Zero.
We sort of found her yesterday.
don't like her.
We found the sheriff.
We,
The last thing I remember were three
shut the sheriff.
identical versions of a small child crashing into me.
There were 4, Belvin.
No.
There were
No.
4. There were 4. I
I
don't know how
only-
much you guys had to drink, but I didn't think it hindered your ability to count.
I'm usually all right at math, and I mean, I saw like at least 2 or 3 of each of you two. So honestly, there could have been like 12 of them, and I wouldn't
were
know.
4.
So okay, that sounds right.
Their poor mother.
I think only 3 of them ran into me though.
Honestly, she's kind
Were
of
there
terrible,
3 of
so
them?
I don't feel so bad. There were 4.
Oh, she was nice.
She was not nice. She was evil.
Oh, okay. So anyway, we found the sheriff.
We tried to get a head start on the investigation, and we are.
You guys tried to break in to a doctor office.
And then we got
That doesn't
caught.
sound right.
We got caught by the sheriff.
Does that not sound
No.
like something you would do, Belvin?
No, it's not that it doesn't sound like something I would do. It sounds well. The first part of it sounds like something I would do. The second part, the getting caught part, we don't get caught. We get away.
We got arrested.
You know, you
We got
you didn't-
arrested.
Arrested is a big
Detained. We
word.
got detained.
We got
We did not step into a cell, so that's good.
But we smoothed it out.
You
and-
tried to.
Yeah.
I'm so confused right now.
Actually, I think Belle did step into the cell.
I grabbed him out.
Yeah. But
So we met the sheriff.
We did, and we're supposed to be meeting her this morning.
Oh,
Cowboy Yang
Okay.
Long.
is any of this connected to why Scylla is wet?
No.
Okay. And it was definitely you that was wet.
It was definitely me. You did not pee the bed.
Good to know. Good to know.
Did you like go for a walk or something?
A walk, a run, some
What for a
screaming.
run?
I don't know. It was a lot. It was like a walk, and then it turned into a run.
Hang on,
and then-
hang on. You went walking / running and screaming in the middle of the night in a town where there is a mass murderer on the loose.
When you put it that way, it doesn't
Scylla, you
sound very
don't
good.
drink, right?
You know, Belle, like sometimes
It felt right at the time.
a night walk is just what you need after, a bad dream.
And Belvin,
don't
tell me,
disagree.
if you thought that murderer would walk up to me, who would get out of there?
I mean, presumably you, but like the murderer has murdered people so
That's-
far.
He's got a point. I do
Like-
think we need to have the buddy system.
Like, I don't know. I don't know how big into the sports you all are, but you know me, big sports guy over here. They seem like they're 3-0, and we're just showing up.
You know what the sport is?
Sure, people really like
Did
to
you-
talk about them, and if you just keep talking in circles, eventually they say the things they want you to say back, and so it's just like a.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
You think I've ever been to a fucking sporting event in my life?
That's what I was so confused. I was like, how would you even see it?
Sporting
you sit
events
down-
I've been to, the ones where people like her beat the fuck out of each other, those I can get behind. The ones where they're like padded up and like bumping into each other, no, that's fucking nightmarish.
It's just boring. There's no real stakes.
Exactly. So again, not again, I didn't say it, Yvain said it. Buddy system for night walks that involve screaming. Also, maybe
I
avoid
agree.
screaming. No screaming
Can't
unless
say it was super intentional.
the
Just
walking or the screaming.
I'll go with all of it.
I'm just imagining. I just know Alex desperately wants to say, Maddie made me do it. Mac made me do it. The fucking dungeon master took control of my character and made me do things.
God
Don't ask me to
told
explain
to
them.
Go outside.
Okay.
it just felt right in the moment. You know, if you like, if there was like one more pie, and then God was like, "You should go eat the pie." Would you not eat the pie, Belvin?
So I understand everything you've said to me completely now.
Thank you.
Though again, in future tag team, presumably with either
I
of us,
agree.
but in
Although with the
certain
mood I was in,
circumstances, maybe
no
just Yvain.
chance. Maybe
Fair
just
enough.
Yvain.
Maybe just Yvain, given last night's circumstances, but hopefully that will not be happening again, because I will not be drinking any more minty ass garbage from that crazy lady.
I agree. You shouldn't. I don't believe she deserves any more of our money.
I really don't like the way it tastes. It just like it works so fast.
Is it like what would be the medieval equivalent of mouthwash?
Mint chew. I don't know.
You're just chewing on the mint leaf, and then you drink
Yeah.
some water really
Yeah,
quickly,
it's
like right
like-
after it.
It's like mint leaves, but it's
Like
also
really
like
cold water.
when your mom gets mad at you and takes a bar of lye and just like rams it down your throat over and over again, but like coat it in mint.
You know, I didn't have parents, but like that sounds like I actually made it out of this situation better. Did your mom do that to you?
No, that was grandma, but that's not really the point.
Marion's intense, y'all.
She's fucking crazy. that was Mazma more than anything. And really, it only happened the one time, and then Ma yelled at her, and then Ma yelled at me, and there was a lot of yelling. Can I have potatoes?
Absolutely.
Thank you. So when are we supposed to meet the captain of the town?
Oh, did we say first light?
I
The
forget.
agreement. The agreement Scylla will remember as the only sober one in the last one out. Will definitely remember was in the morning after breakfast.
That's good. That means we can take as much time as we want eating. Right.
Like our breakfast was very long.
Okay. Anyone else have any fun stories they want to tell about last night that I seemingly don't remember or was not present for?
Yes, you tried to say that we were traveling cart repairmen, and you tried to roll around like a spy in the streets. It was really funny. But I put you on my shoulders eventually.
I mean, I said the cart thing yesterday morning. Are you sure? I said it again last night?
Yeah.
It was in your head, I guess.
Who did I say it to?
I thought you
A
said it to the
fucking
sheriff.
cop.
Okay. I gotta make sure I have my story straight. So I told the cop we were traveling cart repair people. Okay.
On
Traveling
top
cart
of being investigators, you were like, we're investigators and we repair carts, which was true, but like,
Okay. Gotta make sure you keep your story straight for the fucking fuzz, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should keep your own advice.
That's what I'm working on right now. Investigators.
Honestly,
Most-
she already doesn't like us, so like it's fine. It's okay to piss her off more.
Tight.
Also,
Um,
I'm sorry. You know, getting drunk first thing, getting here probably wasn't the best thing. I just thought we could chat people up. I'm gonna be sober the rest of the time that we're here. We're here to do business. So
I'm pretty confident that if I saw anything stronger than a light beer, I might just fall into myself. So
And
there's
also
that.
with the same thing, you guys telling me I can't go on any more night walks while there's a murderer around. I'm not sure that being drunk while a murderer around is even better than that.
Genuinely
are
the least
correct.
intentional thing I have done recently, but you are absolutely right.
It was very adorable while you were drunk, though, I will say, Belvin. You were like leaning on tables and shit.
I mean, that checks out. I'm adorable all the time, but
And I was like amped up because, you know.
because I'm fucking precious, I know.
Exactly. As long
Okay.
as you know your worth, Belvin.
Listen, I'm not a wise man, but I am a cute man, and that is what is important sometimes in this world. Potatoes.
Okay, breakfast is finished.
I'm gonna say my out of every scene is just Food?
Breakfast is finished. You guys
Food?
tidy yourselves up, wash up, and are prepared for the day. Where do you head first?
Doctor's office, apparently.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So you set out through the town. The sun is now not high in the sky quite yet, but has fully cleared the horizon. It's still kind of a brisk morning. Still a little chilly from last night. Ground's still a little wet, but like I said, it's got the strong smell of petrichor in the air. And you make your way through the kind of cramped alleyways and streets and back to the boarded up doctor's office where you were the night before. And standing out front, you see Sheriff Jamie. She is kind of just leaning up against the doorway, and just seems to be just kind of staring off into the distance, just looks to be thinking to herself. Notices you guys approach and kind of shakes herself back into herself and says, good to see you folks. I trust you had a restful night and a nice breakfast.
Absolutely.
First half,
Yeah.
no, but second half, yes.
Well, sorry
Mixed
for the
reviews
first
on the night.
Sorry for the first half, glad for the second. Shall we get down to brass tacks then?
Absolutely.
You're taxing us now.
All right.
We don't live here.
She turns around and
I don't know you
doesn't
shit.
even acknowledge. She turns around and pulls a ring of keys from her belt, unlocks the large padlock on the front door, pulls the bar up, and opens it wide. Allow me to. So she leads you all inside and shuts the door behind you. You are led into a cramped, sparsely furnished and decorated, and just overall uninteresting space. The walls are, unadorned with any photos or paintings or any sort of decoration whatsoever. There are no plants lying around. There is what looks to be a desk and 3 chairs around a sort of coffee table. The chairs look very plain, very stiff. The desk is very neat and organized and kind of minimalistic. There is a door that leads back further into the building, but that is the current. You seem to be. It seems like a front office sort of kind of thing. Jamie kind of nervously kicks at the dirt kicks at the dust on the ground and says, it's currently unoccupied. We don't really have a doctor at the moment for the town. We do have somebody who is set to take her place, Janine Martello, Rick and Jeremiah's daughter. She is currently in Iman, finishing up her medical studies. She will probably be back in 4 months, I think, is her slated return, sometime around then. But
That is a long time to not have a doctor.
I'm aware. We're looking into trying to find something to hold us over. Maybe have someone in from Western or something, a traveling physician, or maybe honestly, a lot of people have been going to Grandma Linda for the past week, and she seems to sort people out in one way or another, whether it's with certain herbs or some kind of elixir or something. She seems to have talents in that regard, so maybe she can help out.
Potentially odd question for you.
Shoot.
Sheriff. Hang on. I am blending the two, and I need to not do that. Sheriff. There we go. Not sheriff. 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 Is it just like injuries or little sickness kind of things people are needing? Or is it like...
I mean, the general wear and tear of a town. I mean, We have
Okay.
the occasional farmyard injury, you know, tools or things going awry. People get sick, catch cold. Flu season is a thing; it happens. Uh, but I mean, lately it's just been a cough here or there. No, nothing out of the ordinary to my knowledge.
Right.
Are
I
people not getting vaccinated at their local pharmacies? It's very important.
We have a
Every
very
year.
stringent anti-vax community here.
Gross. Burn it to the ground.
That
Huddle
is not
guys.
canon. Not canon. Not
Guys,
We
I
canon.
think
gotta
we
leave.
can
We
let them
gotta
all
leave.
die. We can let them all die.
Yeah.
Get the murderer, get all of them.
Oh, oh my gosh.
It's down dead in the water.
So, general offer, I guess. I could probably lend a hand with some of the injury-based things as needed.
Oh,
I know it might not seem like it because I'm kind of a fucking idiot sometimes, but it can heal some people decently well.
I've in my short time on this planet, I have learned that people's personalities do not denigrate their skills.
It's a good lesson to know.
I
I
looked
should
at
write
the
a book or something. My God,
Maybe
I'll
some.
write that one down for later.
Was anything removed from this room?
Not much was touched. I've been through it once or twice, but I haven't moved anything. All we've done is remove the bodies from the scenes. And actually, they're all here.
In-
In this room or
In the building, the doctor's office doubles as a morgue.
Oh,
How long was she the doctor here? This room is, I hate to say it, very depressing.
wildly depressing. Even.
Dr.
Which,
Stoll
like,
was
it's making me upset just standing here.
Dr. Stoll was a bit of a reclusive individual, I'd say. She didn't socialize much, just kind of did her business and kept to herself. She did have a few people who she did business with in town, sort of to get herbs and supplies. But beyond that, none of them were social to my knowledge. In my investigation, I didn't find many close friends or family.
Jeez, even a recluse can have some freaking magazines in our waiting room. God.
She was a bit of a. She wasn't very personal. Wasn't very not a very interpersonal person.
Was
But,
she
she was
like
to answer your question, she was a doctor here for last 15 years, I think. Around
was
there.
she studying anything that
I
or like
mean,
doing any research or anything that people would be upset about?
I know she is a staunch researcher into different herbs and different plant life, flora and fauna. That's kind of what drove her. Kind of what drew her here was the local plant life seems to be very different than others in any other area. So she was very interested in how that came about and did a lot of studying on the local area, and actually came to find that actually gave us the answer that we've been an answer to a question that we've had, which is why is this? She found that the soil contained a sort of sedimentary version of whitestone that was able to infuse the soil with a sort of invigorating agent, which really helps growth in this particular area. And it's only naturally found in this particular area. They haven't been able to replicate it unnaturally anywhere else.
Full circle, guys. I just want to say, full circle. The
Seriously.
lake and now the beds.
Did
My Whitestone theory is correct.
who did she share this information with?
This
far as you
general
know?
information was shared with the town council and the general town. Just a researcher sharing her findings about local research. She was welcomed into the town to do her research. She was not a very personal person, but we didn't really see any issue with her. Just doing her business, keeping to herself. She didn't really cause any trouble, and she was helping out when she needed to. when she was needed, and she was pulling her weight, so we kind of left her be. But she was an avid researcher. I do know that. I don't know of any business partners she may have had outside of the town, though. We weren't.
Interesting.
Yeah, not a lot
Was-
of information.
Everyone who died, not a local here.
No, well, I mean, I would consider
Like,
Dr. Stoll a
more-
local. I would consider Dr. Stoll a local at this point. She's kind of really had kind of entrenched herself here.
And she's been here for
the only
over a
the,
decade.
the only non
I mean, like, like when you're like born and raised,
well, in that case, there was only one person who was born and raised here who was killed.
Okay, that's not the connection then.
The first was an out-of-towner who was trying to set up business in our town.
What kind of
Why?
business?
Well, let me see. Sorry, I'm trying to
Hold for notes.
hold for
Hold
notes.
for notes.
Yeah, these are super poorly organized notes. So he was a half-elven individual. He made his way into town intending to buy out residences in the area along the roadside to build what he called a roadside fun house. It would be a house of sin, if I'm putting it lightly. All sorts of unsavory individuals drawn in, and now we are not opposed to the sex trade in these particular parts. We are never opposed to that. In fact, we have an application by Nautabella to open a brothel in her second level when she opens up
Of course, it's
living spaces. But this was specifically seemed to be funded by slave trade, is what my
Sorry.
intuition
Reading what Ben wrote.
found. What? As opposed to basic medicine. But also he was intending to bring through illicit substances, if I'm not mistaken. He wanted to just set up our town and use our town as a little cover. He wanted to pay people off. He wanted to, keep everybody quiet. And he came through once a couple of months ago and, made his waves and then said he would be back with some more gold and more offers. And come back he did, and never left after that. We found him in his Vardo about a week later after he got to town.
All these people are so
And
not
this-
connected to one
And
another.
the second person was a farmhand.
Indeed. His name, she kind of pulls out a small notebook. His name was Mr. Figs, a farm worker. He's a bit of a rough individual, but he was a man working to provide for his daughter, but had his fair share of unsavory rumors, if I'm being honest.
And he worked on
He worked on a couple different farms.
Simeon's.
He worked on a couple different farms, but Simeon's was his main stead.
Is his daughter still in town?
Darley, yes, she is, I believe, staying with a friend of the family. She's still here in town, though. I can give you the address if you'd like to go talk to her.
Absolutely, I'll write it down.
Sure. She she gives you the address and instructions.
And you said that you've already gone through this office?
Yeah, the crime scene is in the back, in her working quarters.
Sure.
But
That
I've
may
been through once or
be.
twice.
That may be, but I'm going to start to walk towards the desk. Did you actually take a look at this? And if you did, why did you leave? And I'll whip open a drawer, pick up the first thing and hold it up. This in here.
I'm sorry. What are you? What is that?
Well, I'll tell you what it is. I'll slap it on the desk and flip it open. What the fuck did I just pull out of this desk?
Fuck you, Bell. You pulled
It can be
out
anything you want it to be.
You pulled out what seems to be a file on an individual who has been coming back. The last time he was here, he seemed to have hurt his foot and was trying to get some was here to get some pain relief and to see if his foot was broken. But there are several other visits before that as well.
Slap, flip. This here would be a file for somebody who's coming to find some kind of a drug from the doctor. A drug that I believe we maybe just talked about being connected to this individual that had tried to set up a brothel to ferry illicit substances through here. You didn't think that this was important enough to connect to the case?
I'm so sorry. Where are you drawing these connections?
It's all on the paper right here. Can't you see it in my hand right now?
Can I tell that he's just fucking with her?
I don't know. Is he?
Listen, Bell's strategy for a lot of things in life is to go for it and see what happens, and if it works out, great.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Who is this? Who is this? What is this? Yeah, Yvan, you have no clue what the fuck he's doing. Who is it? What is he coming in for? And why does it connect to the elven individual, the half elven, the salesman?
Well, your salesman was going to be bringing drugs through here, illicit substances and the like. And what better place to funnel your illicit substances out than through a legitimate enterprise such as this one?
She's taking vigorous notes at this point.
Sure, yeah. Such as this one. This would be the best place to actually like distribute above board. Free of any sort of real suspicion.
You know, I didn't look through her stock. I just assumed they were medicinal substances. I'm not very well versed on herbs and the like, but maybe some of them are. Maybe some of them could be. I don't know. This is my first real criminal investigation. I'm a bit out of my depth. That's why I'm happy to have you folk to help us.
That's a fantastic theory, Belle. We'll look into that. Sheriff, this is kind of a gruesome question. How were they killed, and what did the bodies look like when you found them?
I'm not sure how they were killed. It's the existence of magic in the world makes even the most mundane things a mystery. That is one of the first things I learned in investigation, is that to never assume that something is that, you hear hooves and whinnying, don't assume it's not a zebra. So there were 3 murders. All of them looked the same. Their eyes were red. They had puffy. Looked like they had burst blood vessels in the eyes. They were puffy around the eyes. The mouth and throat were all red and swollen as well, and the tongues were all purple. That was the constant that we found that felt like this was the work of a single constant. And I mean, hell, I don't even know if somebody is coming around slaying people. I just assume the worst.
But something that we can do, Belle, you're onto something with the files actually. If the doctor treated everyone, then the farmhand for sure might have had a file. Maybe she prescribed a consistent thing between these people. Maybe we can try and rule that out.
Sheriff, one strange question. random thought that just popped into my head from story I heard a long time ago. Who would, we'll say, benefit the most from the town staying the way it has been? From circumventing change?
Second, you say circumventing change, only one name comes to mind, and that's Simeon Flatborough.
Interesting.
That
And
man
you
is
said-
that man is so opposed to change, he would chop a tree down before he let it grow.
Interesting. All right. All right. Might need to talk to Simeon at some point here. And by some point, I mean relatively soon.
Well, the merchant's Vardo was parked on Simeon's land. That's how we found him, because he hadn't moved it or talked to Simeon in 3 days. So he had Simeon had Demetrius Kasich, the gourd farmer's boy, go and knock on the door and see what was going on, and Demetrius found him inside.
All right then. Let's take quick stock of, you know, the lab, research, files, all of that kind of thing, and decide where to go from there, maybe.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
maybe we should go look at the bodies too.
Probably that, yeah.
I also
Yeah.
thought that as well.
Right. All right. Well, it's just through here.
'Cause
She
it kind of
opens.
sounds like they were strangled, but I would like to.
She opens the door and to the back and leads you through. In the back is an equally sparsely decorated, what seemed to be study and examination room. A cross between a study and examination room and a lab, with a further door in the back that a further doorway that has a stairway up. This room is trashed. This room, while sparsely decorated, is mostly destroyed. A table is toppled over in the center. There are cupboards that are kind of hanging open on the floor level. There are countertops covered in broken glass and spilt, what looks to be stains of spilt things. On the ground by the table looks to be actually, if I can, so yeah, there is a in the center of the room is what looks to be like the remnants of possibly her a meal of some kind. There's a plate of what looked to be like small biscuits, some tea, a smashed teapot as well, and a small container of like sugar and honey and other things like along the lines.
Looking like a scuffle or like someone tore it apart.
Make an investigation check, and if anyone wants to help, they can. As Scylla starts kind of poking around through the debris.
I would like to help.
Okay, Yvain, you can either roll your own investigation check, or Scylla, you can roll with advantage.
I'll give
So,
Scylla
Sheriff,
advantage.
where exactly in here did you find? Could you like recreate?
There is a marked area on the ground. It looks like there's a chalk outline drawn in the floor, like just a rough assimilation of what the body looked like, and it seems to be kind of splayed out over the fallen, crashed table.
So I can't convince the sheriff to like play dead body for us.
I mean, you can certainly try.
It's really important to the investigation.
It's really important.
Well, she
I
points out,
gotta-
I found the body right in this direction. And see, it was kind of splayed over the table. It looked like she was, I don't know, maybe she was trying to, I don't know, reach something on it.
What'd you get, Scylla?
What'd you get, Scylla? Yeah.
23.
23. Okay. And you were repeat your question for me.
Is
What were you
it
looking
look
for?
like there was a tussle or like it was torn apart?
Okay. So looking at it from that perspective, you look around and it looks like there may have been a struggle. It looks like somebody was slamming into things. This doesn't look like somebody went through things and were throwing things around. It doesn't like, things aren't tossed across the room or anything. Things are just knocked over and kind of like, halt like it you look down and you notice like uh any cabinets that are opened or seem to be have broken in. They're all like wooden with glass fronts. They're all at floor level, at ground level. None of them could be needed to be reached for. They all could have been bumped into and knocked open at some point. So it looks like if like this definitely was not someone rifling through this. This was someone was just running through here, knocking it over. It looked like a bull in a china shop.
Okay.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So, where exactly are the files in here?
I believe they would
Also-
be at her desk, and she points over to a sort of back corner of the room where there is a desk and a couple of filing system cabinets, as well as a metallic kind of cabinet system with a lock on it.
Right. And how long ago did we find the doctor body here?
The doctor was about, I'd say, 2.5 or maybe a week and a half ago, maybe 2.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not gonna eat that then. Okay. All right. Well, let's who likes reading? I like reading.
I like
Well, I
reading.
think the choice is: do you like reading or looking at dead bodies?
I like reading.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Belle, see if you can find the files on all 3 victims. Doctor might have had a file on herself. I don't know.
Fair enough. Names for the entrepreneurial fellow.
Oh, I believe his name was Mayfanis Keenan. That was his name.
Name.
Meiphanis Keanan.
Great. Sounds good. I'm going to do some digging through some paper. You all go do some digging through some chests.
Right. Okay, so you head over to the filing cabinets and all of that and start rifling through there. Yvain and Scylla, you move over to the lab section of the room, and there are several would look to be large stone slabbed cabinet doors set into the wall here. It seems like there was like some heavy construction done in this building just for this specific area.
Okay, this isn't going to smell good. Everyone, just be ready.
What?
No, I've smelled it before. Let's go.
Plug your nose, Belvin.
All right. Who do you want to see first? Or do you want to see them all
Who
at the same time?
who died first?
Who died
Whichever one
first?
died first.
That would have been Mr. Keenan.
Say the crazy ass name you just gave me.
Yeah. That would have been Mr. Keenan. So she walks over to one and pushes a little latch on it and pulls out the slab, and you see the kind of wash of cold like steam pop off as a body is pulled from the inside of this wall. It is a half elven man, slick, dark hair, kind of sweat. So it looked to be like remainder of sweat slicked. Sallow skin, kind of gaunt features at this sunken in at this point a little bit. Already has the Y stitches in his chest. Looks like Stoll already performed an autopsy. And yeah, that's about, there's a tag on his toe.
Hmm.
His face does have the same has the same description that she gave, with the swollen eyes, the redness around and swelling around the mouth as well.
Does it look like he might have been strangled?
Make an investigation check.
I'll help.
Okay, with advantage, or you can both do it.
Can I do medicine?
Yeah, yes you can.
Okay.
I'll allow that.
With advantage? Okay.
Yes.
I'll take the 12.
All right. You look for the telltale signs of strangulation. You look for any bruising around the neck. You look for any kind of you look for bruises. You don't find any. No, no kind of bruising or anything. Doesn't seem like he was strangled.
Doesn't seem like he was strangled.
Scylla was an adventurer for a few years before this. Does she recognize any of this? Has she seen anyone die in a manner like this before?
Make a history check.
Oh boy, +1.
Or let's see. I'm trying to think. Memory. That's history.
A 5.
Tight.
We're doing great, guys.
No,
We are crushing it.
You haven't seen you've been around, but you haven't seen much insane shit. This is
Must be some weird
something
Tal'Dorei
new.
shit.
It's something new for you. You learn something new every day. Here's yours for the day.
Well, if Dr. Stoll performed an autopsy, she's got to have a file somewhere. I'm looking
Where's
around
the
the room for a filing cabinet.
Where's the
There's
sheriff while
all
we're
back
doing
with
all this?
Belden.
Oh,
Is the
So
sheriff with Bell or is the sheriff with me and
sheriff's
Yvain?
with you and Yvain, and Yvain now walk back to Bell.
hey Val, can you also look for the autopsy file of that half elven fellow? What's his name again?
His name is
The
Mayfanis Keenan.
Keenan.
Mayfanis Keenan.
Mr. Keenan.
Yeah, it's funny you should ask about that because I'm just now.
Investigation check, please, Bell.
The end of that sentence is either going to be finding it or failing to find it. That's a 4.
It's
We're doing
a
so good.
lot of paper here, a lot of parchment. There's this. She's not only has files on all of her patients. She has files on her research. She has files on her stock, on her history of purchases and shipments, and she has study papers. She has papers that she's writing to be published. She's research. It's a lot, man.
Yeah, it's funny you should ask about that. She's got about 8 files for everything in here, which means that in theory it's easier to find him, but in practice I have to sift through 8 times as many files to try and find anything I could possibly want to use. So the answer to your question is not right now.
I'll come back. I'm sorry, or I'll come back to help you in a minute.
Okay, bye.
While they're gone, I think Scylla's gonna look over at the.
Make a zombie.
I would love to make a zombie. I was really sad. I was googling "speak with dead" and it's a bard and cleric spell. While they're standing there, Scylla's looking over the body and kind of looks around the room and is like, for a very small town, it's kind of odd you have a morgue.
People die.
Yeah, bury them.
That's what we do after we find out how they died. If they didn't die of natural causes.
You are, not to be mean, but you are all peasants. You put money into making a morgue? It looks like you excavated this room.
It was her
Do you not
dollar.
find that weird?
It was her dollar. She paid for
Do
it.
you not find that weird?
I mean, she's a researcher. I didn't think to question it. She kept to herself. We didn't really have any issue with it. She applied for the permit to do the construction. She put down the money for the for all of that. I believe she was doing research on cadavers, and I believe she always got written consent from the next of kin before she did any kind of any kind of post-mortem uh, work. But
So she was a expert in cadavers and agriculture.
I believe she was just a medical researcher, a general medical researcher. And I believe the work with cadavers had something to do with some of the research she was previously doing. Perhaps, I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. I tried to get an idea from her journal, which is in her desk over there, by the way, top drawer. But just a general feel of what she was about. I couldn't really make head nor tail of too much, though. It's all written in shorthand.
Do you think a doctor who has lived here for 15 years could afford? How did she afford that?
She had some successful research, I believe. Honestly, I couldn't tell. We don't make a habit of asking too many questions around here that we don't have the right to ask. We just kind of let people be, and if they incur on our own personal areas or our own personal beings, then that's when we tend to ask questions.
She might have gotten a research grant from one of the universities in a
Maybe.
Mac, let me know if this is just a storytelling idea that you're using by her having a morgue, and I will shut up.
I mean, there needed to be a place for bodies, but
Okay.
it's a good line of questioning. I'm not gonna lie.
Suspicious as hell.
Why? I'm not gonna tell you not to investigate something you find suspicious.
Do you want to look at the other bodies?
I mean, that's probably a good idea.
Make sure it's consistent.
Yeah.
Scylla, make an investigation check for me. And with advantage, I'd say.
22.
This is fucking weird. Why is this down here? Like, how? Okay, small doctor, small town, super researcher, fine. What the hell is she researching that makes this much money? Like, because you look
money,
and
there's no connection to the research.
You look at these stone slabs and you notice the steam of you notice the steam coming off the bodies, how they are perfectly preserved and cold. This is enchanted. This entire wall is enchanted with like a spell to keep bodies cold and preserved. This is specifically like this woman, like you're looking around and you can't really find any like, ulterior use for it, but this woman shelled out the gold for this.
That is very expensive to enchant something.
This entire thing is incredibly expensive, and like, how the hell is she making that much money on a doctor's salary? Like, researcher, fine. What the fuck is she researching?
Someone's paying her.
Guys, this
How
shit
did
is
a pigeon get in here?
crazy in here.
How did a pigeon get in here?
Did you guys know that doctor's files are the best place to find crazy shit about people? Someone named Popper Sinclair lost his left testicle. What is going on in this place?
Oh, Popper, that was an unfortunate accident.
Yeah, it says it got ripped off in a farm machine.
There was some experimental tech here from Hupperduke that we were trying out. It didn't exactly work out too well. We had some words with.
You do not take experimental tech from Hupperduke. Why did you think that was a good idea? You had that shipped from a different continent to come here and then blow off someone's testicle.
Hey, it was a deal. They wanted to try some stuff out. We wanted things to go a little more, shall we say, efficiently around here.
They are on crack like 24/7. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, this one over here talks about an automaton from over there that broke someone's arm. This Bell like pops in the room. Oh, dead body. This shit is crazy out here. This is better than like any drunk people I've ever met. This is fucking wild.
Apparently, her journal is in that drawer over there.
Oh, in there, out there.
Oh, is it in
Hopefully,
the?
there's a section that's like, here's why I was murdered. P.S. Here's why I have all that money.
In her
Is the
desk.
is the desk that the journal's in the?
The desk you were sitting at.
Oh, great. Right, sounds good. I'll go get that then and take a look at that because I can't find these three fuckers anywhere in their files. So,
You know, Belle, I'm proud of you for reading with a hangover, just in general. So,
I forgot about that. I guess my head does to hurt still. It feels nice in here, even though the dead bodies are really sort of bringing down the vibe of this whole room.
I could make one a zombie. Do you think that would make you feel better?
Please do not do that.
I'm gonna go over there now.
Could we go take a look at the other bodies?
Sure. The next two along the line, and she pulls them both out. You see a middle-aged human man, unshaven, kind of the eyes same way, the mouth same way. He's a bit heavier set, dark tan skin, like he's ripped, like arms or have corded muscles, like he's a hard worker. And then you see Dr. Stoll. Dr. Stoll is a slight human woman, pale skin, grayish blonde hair. She had this is the only one without a Y incision. It seemed that Mr.
No one
Figs
wanted to do it.
Mr. Figs had his done, and then Dr. Stoll was the final. But yeah, they all have the same symptoms, same facial disfiguration.
I'm gonna have gone to the desk to find the journal and start like.
Okay. Go ahead and what are you looking for specifically in the journal?
It's not helpful for me to say anything I think is like interesting. So anything that seems like can I get a vibe for what is in the journal for like, is it a personal journal? Is it a research journal? Is it like a log of what's going on? Like just based on the first couple of random things I see.
It looks to be a personal, like a daily diary kind of thing. Not
Okay.
like like a scheduling diary kind of thing. Like she has notes to herself about about future appointments. She has a couple of research notes. It seems to be just like a personal notebook that she keeps her thoughts and her calendar in.
Cool. I would like in descending order of importance, recurring appointments that you might have, any weird notes in the last, we'll call it, no, hang on, recurring appointments, any weird notes she has around the time of the other two deaths, like as little pockets, and then any weird notes she has in the last like 2 weeks of her being alive.
Okay. Go ahead and make another investigation check for me.
Okay.
Scylla, Yvain, what are you two up to?
Dirty 20.
Okay.
Yvain remembers that time that she kind of opened her sense of awareness up and saw the cool stuff in the water, and she's just wondering if she can do that in this room.
Sure.
She's trying to use magical awareness to see if there's anything within 60 feet of her. So she
an entire wall,
and say the wall becomes
the
like
wall.
fucking Vegas Strip,
and then she'll do it again in the room that was like tossed over. And
so
stuff,
basically, those are like the same room.
Okay.
It's like a studio that's been sectioned off into areas.
So she'll try and get into the center of it and just
Okay.
focus her mind and see if she can sense anything magical.
Okay. There are two besides you and your friends.
Yeah.
And what looks to be some sort of rod on Jamie's hip. There are there's one giant wall of light, which is the more like the freezer,
Mhm.
and then the metal cabinet with the lock on it next to Belbin. There seems to be a couple of it looks like you're getting a couple of signals from that.
Hey, I think there might be something in that cabinet next to Belle.
I believe that is where she keeps her medicines and medicinal components.
Do you just believe everything people tell you, like all the time?
No, that's what I've found from my look around. That's just what I
It's
saw.
locked.
I have the key right here.
Oh,
She hands it over to you.
I go over and open it up and see what's
Okay.
inside.
So while you're doing all that, so do you still have how long does the awareness last?
I think, hold on.
Is it like a 6-second flash thing or?
As an action. Yeah, it's just a little flash.
Okay. So you got a few signals from in there, but by the time you're like there and opening it up, it's gone. So, but you see in front of you an assortment of medicines, different components, would look to be, jars of herbs and liquids and powders and solids, different kinds of, balms and putties and clays and other things along those lines. As you're looking through this, Belle, you got a dirty 20 on that. Okay, dope. So you were looking for specifically recurring appointments. So first on that, you notice that there have been several patients within the last year to have increasingly frequent appointments. A couple of farmhands, as well as one of the main farmers, one of the main farmers in town by the name of Marla Wainthrope. Yes, Marla Wainthrope is the name. She is a vegetable farmer. But yeah, the others are farmhands, a couple of just local shopkeepers. Second, you were looking for weird notes around the times of the two deaths.
Yes.
Nothing that kind of ticks you off as weird, just references to autopsy notes on a couple of notes, kind of throwing out theories for the cause of death, possibility of food allergy or some sort of other kind of reaction, a wayward spell, and then autopsy notes. And then within the last 2 weeks before she died, you said?
Yeah. Just leading up to it, yeah.
Standard couple of appointments. Appointment, just a couple of appointments with people around town. The notes about the murders, as well as you also see recurring. When you were looking for the recurring shipments, you also see recurring appointments. You also see recurring shipments and orders made to Rickfire Silverbrace.
Okay.
For something called for something labeled MYMO, capital MY, capital MO.
Mymo.
Yeah. It looks like she was getting regular shipments or regular orders of some
Mhm.
of whatever that is from him, and
Cool, cool, cool.
paying a pretty penny for it.
Cool. Any last thing for that? Was there anything on the day of her dying that like an appointment, or like she was just hanging
Um,
out in her doing a research thing, or
Her last appointment was the day before. It seemed like she didn't have
okay,
any appointments noted on the actual day. It seemed like that day was set for research
cool,
and relaxation.
cool.
Killed on a
Sheriff,
day off. Sucks.
right, the
Kinda.
worst. Sheriff, what do you know about Marla Wainthropp?
Who are you asking?
Sheriff?
Uh, that's my mother.
Yeah,
She's the vegetable farmer around town. Why?
just coming to see the doc a lot, and I just didn't know if you knew anything about that.
She has a condition. Um, she's a retired mercenary adventurer type. Has a bit of uh, my dad calls it shell shock. Uh,
Gotcha.
just she gets a little. She's a little bit of a. She's not all here sometimes,
Fair
and
enough.
she's been coming. She was coming to Doctor Stoll for medicine. I wasn't. What was? You said she was coming to the doctor a lot.
Has been consistently over the last year, more frequently recently. So just
That. That's odd. They didn't mention anything to me about it. My dad never mentioned anything to me about it. It's
I mean, maybe he didn't know.
uh, maybe I don't know. I've been so busy trying to get the sheriff office up to snuff and just work out everything and get everything all sorted. And then all of this, I haven't even been back home in a few weeks, months, maybe. Jeez.
Well, once we get this figured out, you can go back, see him, have a couple of days off, because presumably once
Well,
the
we could go talk to her.
murderer,
We could go talk to her. She is in town, of course.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
It's up, of course, whatever, wherever you folks lead.
sure. Sheriff, could you give me a hand? I'm looking for the autopsy files for those two, not people anymore in there.
Oh,
And those drawers are too high for me to actually reach. So
right. Yeah, sure, I'll help out. Go ahead and make another investigation check with advantage. Yvain, you were. Are you looking for anything in particular in the medicine cabinet, or what? And also, Scylla, try to start thinking about what you've been up to.
dirty 20.
Okay.
I'll do my little flash again just to see specifically what was triggered.
Okay. You see at the back of what looks to be a slightly above eye level shelf, for a natural human, for you directly at eye level, which is actually how you see it. There are several jars at the back that are glowing with a specific magical aura.
She'll take about. and just
There
look
are
at it.
a few different things in there. There's a couple of things that actually give off a sort of magical, like, you see some of them are giving off magical essence from the material within the jars. Some of them, the jars themselves, are magical. Maybe and you kind of denote that maybe there's some kind of containment spell or
Mm.
something. You're not 100% sure, but there are several different things here. Some of them are labeled, some of them are not.
I'll just put them on the desk for now.
Okay. Scylla, what have you been up to?
I think she's just kind of slowly going over the bodies as like meticulously as she can, trying to look for like she knows they all died in the same way, but maybe like
Hmm.
uh any sort of level of aggression. And then I think she goes and checks the table where you said it looks like she might have been reaching for something.
Okay.
And like
go
looks in a trajectory of like maybe something flew off the table and like skittered under a table or something.
Go ahead and give me 2 investigation checks. This is just one big investigation, folks.
Can I guide
Oh,
myself?
sorry. Give me a medicine check and an investigation check. And yes, you can guide yourself.
Guidance.
Medicine. Okay.
What?
It's a 6 for medicine.
Okay. So looking over the
Investigation.
bodies, you can't find any obvious signs of struggle or any obvious signs of violence on any of them. There are several bruises on the back of the human man, as well as what look to be the nails of Dr. Stoll seem to be broken and chipped in places. But that's all you can really find, and you can't find much reasoning for any of that. Moving to the investigation check for the table.
Natural 20 for a 27.
Okay.
There it is.
Looking for the table, you check the proximity, you look all around it. There's nothing really low hanging enough for anything to roll under. There's nothing like that seems to have flown off, but you do kind of get perspective, and you try to like visualize what the room looked like. And and it's like you almost can see it in your mind's eye. You can see a ghost of the table sitting upright with the tea set sitting out on it, and you see like a spectral image in your mind of Dr. Stoll staggering forward to the table and basically collapsing, like hitting the table so hard that one of the legs snaps and the entire table crashes over. The tea and the jars of sugar and honey and the teacups and the saucer of little biscuits flying everywhere and crashing on the ground. The most you can see is that tea kettle. The most significant thing you can see is that she could have been reaching for is either something that she could have eaten, something that she could have drank, or something that was on the table that could have potentially been removed after she died. Something that was in the room that is no longer currently in the room. Whatever that may be, you are not sure. And that's, again, just another possibility. Those are it was either she was reaching for something on the table, and it's definitely either one of the things that have crashed to the floor here or something that is no longer in the room.
Okay. So like starts to lean down to like sniff the tea set to see if it was like poisoned or some shit.
Okay.
And then while she's doing that, looks at the sheriff and is like, "You said you already went over the crime scene, yes?
Once or twice, but not exactly with a fine-tooth comb.
Was anything removed from it?"
I did not remove anything. And I was the only one in here besides the patient that found her.
Who was the patient?
Actually,
who
he
found
was not. He didn't even come in here. The door was locked, and that's why they called me. I was the first one in here. So yeah, actually, I've been the only one in here since it happened, and no, I did not remove anything. Make a medicine check for that poison check.
I've been doing really good at those.
Bell, you find the autopsy report for both Mr. Keenan and Mr. Figgs.
Hey.
As well as Mr. Figgs's
recurring file.
Recurring file, yes.
Great.
You're not gonna believe this.
Did you roll another natural 20?
I did.
Shut the fuck up. Jesus Right.
Disagree.
For a total of
Medicine. I didn't guide myself, so that's a 23.
23. Okay. Holy shit, my dude. Okay. So you check how do you check the teapot and
I think she's like very connected to the wilderness and shit. Being a druid, so I feel like gives it like a good whiff, seeing if she can smell like I don't know, like nightshade or something.
tea smells like just your average black chamomile tea. Nothing really nothing really added to it. It seemed like there was just tea in the kettle or in the yeah, there was just tea in the kettle, but seemed like additions were made when she had her cup. So
Okay.
but it doesn't you don't smell anything abnormal in the teapot. God damn it. So quick.
It's one of the first things that comes up when you Google connected to the wilderness.
I'm connected. I can see it all.
Yvain's looking at the jars, and does she recognize any of them, like from hanging out with the druids from her village or anything like that?
Make a medicine check.
Oh, okay. 17.
You do recognize one or two. You recognize a salve that has some relaxation properties that you used quite often after matches, as well as some herbs that your grandmother would use to induce visions. You are not familiar with what they are called. Your grandmother just called them vision plants, or her vision herbs.
Icy hot and psychedelics. Dope.
Pretty much.
Psychedelics next to like a case of icy
Oh.
hot.
You also do see one jar labeled mithril moss.
Any of you know what mithril moss is?
Yeah, it's moth made of mithril.
Do I?
Make a nature check.
You don't need to do that. I already got you.
Third natural 20. Let's go.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. No way.
No way.
No shot.
I'm not fucking joking right now. What the fuck?
Don't ever touch that die again.
Yes, correct.
It's a Taliesin die.
That's
Oh,
a Taliesin
man.
die. God damn, that is a death save die.
I don't know if you guys listen to NabPod at all, but every once in a while they'll ask to do some crazy shit, and Murph will go, roll 3 natural 20s in a row, and I'll let it happen. Just do it, and I'll let it happen.
I'm never going to be asking that. Jesus, fuck. Okay.
That was a joke.
Yeah, no, mithril moss. Yeah.
Moss and mithril.
You on an adventure that you had when it was one of the first ones when you left Tally and
Porter.
Tally and Porter. You kind of were running with another group of druids for a while. They were not the best influences. They were heavy into drugs. It's kind of where a lot of your need for sobriety comes from because you saw them. Because
no.
mithril moss is an incredibly addictive opiate type substance that occurs naturally in more in like marshland, in like specifically like wet marshy like lake areas, swamp areas kind of thing.
would that be weird to find in a doctor's office, or is it like a I need
Yes.
your ID and put you in the system kind of drug
That
at the
is,
pharmacy?
it is the equivalent of a Schedule 1 narcotic.
Oh,
Yeah, but like we use those for people. We don't need more, but we did.
Back in the day.
It is
Yeah.
very much not regulated and very much illegal.
don't touch that!
Amazing.
Don't touch that! Don't touch that!
Oh shit, hold on. She puts it back. She carefully sets it back down. What? Am I gonna die? What is it?
No, it's not good. It's very illegal.
I'm
Don't.
sorry. What are we talking about?
This thing, it says mithril moss.
Excuse me?
It's really illegal.
Incredibly so. And hold on. And she comes over, picks up the jar, and starts looking. My God. No, that is absolutely mithril moss.
Holy shit, Belle. I think you
That's
might
at
have been
least
right.
that's at least about, I'd say, 2 ounces, maybe 3.
Listen, I don't tell you how to do your job. You don't tell me how to do mine.
Why would this woman? Oh my God, is she a drug dealer? Oh my God, is she a drug dealer? Is that how she afforded the morgue?
I don't know. I mean, she does have
You
an
know who else
expertise-
makes drugs?
She does have
Still
an
doesn't know that.
expertise.
Back up.
She does have
Wait,
an
nope, hang on.
Nope.
expertise.
Nope.
Is
She
it drug
does have-
dealers?
She does have an
dealers.
expertise in herbs and natural flora and fauna.
Are we near marshes? Marshes.
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 Not really. You're in a
Marshes.
plainy woodsy type area. The only
That's what I thought.
like water you've seen is a small like it's either it's a pretty large good sized pond that the mill and the millside motel is attached to.
But like not enough to make meth in your backyard.
It looks
That's what
like
you
from what
think.
you could see of the large pond, it seemed to be where Rick did most of his aquatic farming. He was the aquaculture farmer of the town, so he does a lot of like farming through there. But that's the only water source that you've seen nearby. Besides like
That's
a stream
very-
in the middle of the woods a while ago.
That's very odd.
I'm not sure. Perhaps it has some medicinal uses. I'm not that I'm not aware of. Maybe she was
I mean, technically,
researching its
but like,
medicinal uses.
Where did you say my Mayfanis was coming from?
I'm not sure, but I believe it was Western.
Hmm. There's not
I mean,
marsh out
anything can
there.
really come from Western.
We came from Western.
And
That was a
not
useful
good
piece of
things
information
happened.
for me to contribute.
That is how it. This is so confusing.
On a look through the autopsy reports, does anything stick out to me as like similar / the same other than shoulders up?
They both had inflamed and swollen esophagus and stomach tracts as well. It looked like there had been some kind of damage done internally to their organs. And it looked like several of them failed simultaneously.
Cool.
That's the standard autopsy report.
Great.
Their organs failed simultaneously.
That's what the autopsy report seems to indicate, is that there was significant damage and swelling to the esophageal tract as well as the stomach and several other organs. I think it was it's the liver and the pancreas and the stomach all just completely shut down and failed.
That is very weird.
Sorry, lungs, not stomach, lungs.
Hmm.
Yeah. Liver, pancreas, and lungs just.
Poison, you think?
I mean, that's the only way I could get to all those places. By being.
Or a drug?
Also possible. Is there anything else we think we can find here, or do we need to move to the next place because we're gonna start spinning our tires pretty soon?
That's on you. That's on you, folk.
Sorry,
I've been-
Sheriff. Sorry, you're right. I'm gonna turn 10 degrees so that Sheriff is now outside of the cone and look at the other two. Is there anywhere else we should find in here, or
I'm just gonna be over here.
I don't know. This whole room is very suspicious to me.
right? We can get into the whole like doctor was a drug kingpin thing later. We're looking for the murder bit right now.
Honestly, I'm still on the affording the morgue thing. I haven't moved past that.
Yeah, I think that's part of the whole like kingpin thing. So we're gonna take the second
but you
half of
think
that
that-
word and use it, and then we're gonna move on for a little bit, maybe.
Well, maybe instead of starting with the last person who died, we start with the first.
I mean, that works for me. Honestly, totally honestly, I just really have come to realize since you guys have left that door open that the bodies are like right there, and we should probably get the fuck away from them.
Just
They will
Urango
only
sort of
turn into zombies if I
close.
say so.
You keep saying this zombie thing that really seems to make me anxious. So maybe we should move on to the next crime scene.
Before
Makes
we
me
move
anxious
on,
too, so don't worry about it.
I want to look around the room. Give it a good one. Out of the whole place.
Mhm.
I want to look for some fucking trap doors, some secret behind a bookshelf type shit. This woman, for having all this fucking money, apparently has the drabbest, most boring house I've ever seen in my life. And it's
You
depressing.
guys have. There is one room you have left to investigate. There was a stair set. There was a doorway with some stairs leading up. In the
Ooh.
back of the room.
Totally fucking missed that. We should probably go upstairs before we leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like cursory glance real quick.
I
I
want to go through
believe
her
that is
personal
her-
belongings.
I believe that is her living quarters.
Yeah, that's probably a good place for us
Yeah,
to
that's
just,
a
like,
great
check out
place.
real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you head upstairs. There is it's basically a stairway to a doorway and then into a room. It's like an attic bedroom basically. It's again incredibly sparsely furnished. There
Very
is
suspicious.
a table, a dresser, a chair, and a bed. There is a brown carpet on the floor, a area carpet, and that is it. There's a bed. Oh, and a bedside table. On the bedside
That's-
table is a jug of water and a glass and a book.
That's the most
There's no way.
suspicious thing in this whole
There's
building.
no
Who the fuck has a
way.
brown carpet?
You just go get dirt if you want a brown carpet.
Sheriff, did the
Yeah.
doctor travel a lot?
Or had the
Not
personality?
not to my knowledge, and not to my knowledge.
You don't settle somewhere for 15 years and not accumulate some stuff.
Literally anything. So you should
Anything.
still do your super like paranoid crazy ass bullshit thing that you were gonna do.
I'm
like, for
checking for
sure.
all the trapdoors.
No need for an investigation check. You don't find any trap doors. You do find a large chest under the bed.
Yes.
It does have a heavy padlock on
We
it.
found her porn, guys.
For sure. Mac, I have a question
I
that
do
will
not have
make
a key
this.
for this.
Bring it.
Yvain.
Stand back.
Okay.
The best way to pick a
Lock
lock. Just to
pick.
break it. Okay.
Are you
Just-
God, I got okay, small side story here. I had a a monk PC in a game that I played in a while ago. He was a war veteran who used dual pistols, and like the first thing I used the pistols for in game was to blow the lock off a door.
Good.
And
Good.
so that's how my pistols got the
Correct.
names Key and Key. K-E-Y and K-I.
Hey,
Good.
that's
Because I was a
Good.
monk.
We
I was
love
a
to
pistol
see it.
monk. So I was like, yeah, I got my twin keys right here. Let me unlock some fucker's head.
Amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, just so you
Yeah.
swing your key, I'm guessing.
Yeah, she does.
Go ahead and roll an attack.
Mac, I have a question for you that might make this woman even more of a psychopath. Have we seen
Womp.
literally any other glasses
Oh.
in the entire building so far? Or-
Like water glasses?
yeah, or just the one on
Just
her-
the
okay,
one.
This
just the
woman's
single water
crazy.
glass.
Okay. A 12 does hit. Go ahead, roll damage.
Oh, okay. Well, come on. 4.
Okay, no, deal double damage to structures. So 8 points of
Big
damage. Yeah, you swing down with the axe. And it's at that point that I would like all 3 of you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Can I see it?
We didn't check for
Because it's right in front of me.
Why the fuck?
Yeah, you see the lock break and start to glow brightly.
Apparently, I have not been doing this the whole time. I have advantage on dex saves. That I
Yeah.
can see.
Amazing. 17. I'm gonna have been holding the glass and going, Scylla, did you see any more of? Oh fuck.
15. 15.
15?
I got my comeuppance.
What'd you get? Not one! No!
Bro, did you roll anything between those?
No.
There are other numbers, Alex.
There's
I'm sorry,
18
I'm
other
sorry.
numbers on the die.
Okay, so I'm sorry.
3
Please.
nat 20s, that one.
3 nat 20s, then nat 1. Jesus Christ. All right. So,
For 2 things that didn't even amount to anything.
so what
I
did you
didn't
guys
need to do
roll?
that.
17.
15.
17 of 15. Okay. So the DC was 15. So Yvain and Belle both save, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Scylla's the only one who doesn't save. Also, I have to roll one for
You know what?
Y'all,
She's not having
we-
a good week.
We need Farasha back so badly. We need
If
a
we-
rogue.
So bad.
If we
She
fucking
fails.
kill the, if the sheriff fucking dies here,
Okay, let me see.
Then we're
Um,
we're the mass murderers.
we are instantly implicated in all of
no,
the murders.
no.
Even though we were witnessed coming into town literally yesterday.
Hey, I'll be right back. I got to get more dice.
Okay. Amazing.
I'm gonna die here.
I cannot believe we just...
I have all of my spells. Don't worry, Scylla. I'll
Oh,
spin the needle and
no.
see what happens.
We got too complacent, y'all.
Okay, let me see.
We're always too
Yes,
complacent. Are
one
you
more.
kidding me? We fly through shit by the seat of our pants like, it's fine.
It's fine, it'll be fine. Making wild accusations of people we don't know.
There we go.
To be fair, we did find, narcotics.
Yeah. Also,
Would you like to know my
unrelated-
current crazy theory, by the way?
Sure.
They all made a deal with a demon to make their lives better, except it all went wildly wrong and the demon came up. They came to pay. He wanted his shit back, so he killed them all.
That would be fun. I while we were doing this, I
Supernatural episode.
went ahead and I had a little Google on what some of the other Schedule 1 drugs are. And apparently weed is up there with LSD and ecstasy
Oh my
as a
god.
Schedule 1 drug.
Weed.
Weed. You
Same
got
level
weed,
of LSD.
You got LSD.
Okay,
You got
that's
peyote.
a lot of high numbers.
Like,
Oh no.
I think it's safe to say we have accidentally successfully destroyed this woman's only piece of drinkware
Yeah.
because I
and
was
her only
holding
picture.
it. Actually, she had a teapot and cups
Okay,
downstairs,
so-
she's fine.
Okay,
It had
Other
to
so
be
than the part where
broken.
she's dead.
Scylla and Jamie take 27 points
Okay.
of fire damage.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
you're fine.
Okay.
You're
Uh,
fine.
I'm
And Yvain and Belle, you both, yeah, I rolled kind of shitty. I rolled like, yeah. You both take 13 points of fire damage. Sorry, 14 points of fire damage.
14.
14 points of fire damage
Maj.
as the chest explodes in a fireball. You are all thrown back against the walls. Let me see. Who was the last one in?
Mm,
Okay, so
I
here's
guess it would. I'm gonna say Scylla actually, since you rolled a 1. since you rolled a natural 1, you got the bad luck of being directly in front of the doorway and got blasted down the stairs.
Down the stairs.
Yeah,
Oh,
good.
everyone
sweetie.
else, Belle, you hit a wall. Yvain, you went through one.
Oh,
Yeah, you went through.
Are you
one
on the
into-
roof now?
Yeah, actually, kind of.
Oh, fuck.
You are like tumbled out onto a roof eave on the outside. And Belle, you are slammed up against the wall. Jamie is in a crumpled heap on the floor,
Fuck.
Oh my God.
and she is.
Sound off.
Ugh.
What the hell happened?
All right, we're all alive. Good start.
What the fuck was that?
I was
Oh yeah,
trapped
the
on
entire building around you is currently ablaze.
Oh, fuck.
shit. Can I jump down onto the floor or?
So you are currently on the roof through a wall. You basically got blasted through a wall and went and like are skidded like on a roof about like 10 feet away from the hole. So you can either run down the roof and like jump off. You can run back in the hole. You could try to jump through the roof. Whatever you want to do, my friend.
I'll jump through the roof.
Okay. You literally stand up and it collapses out under you.
Oh shit.
And
Amazing.
it's not a
Naturally.
strong roof. You go through it and we're going to say take another 7 points of fall damage.
Woof.
Okay.
As you plummet down to through the ceiling of another of the oh god, the office waiting room. Scylla, you are downstairs in the lab currently, pulling kind of splayed out on the floor at the bottom of the stairs, looking up as smoke is starting to kind of pull through the doorway up top.
Oh, we really need Farasha back, and she'll wave her hand, and Morgan is gonna come sit on her shoulder, and fuck it, it'll be our third level. We just got hurt. As her spectral bird comes and sits on her shoulder to fucking
Gotcha.
heal her.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm in the waiting room area now.
Yeah.
Could I run back and try and go upstairs and get Belle and the sheriff?
You run, jump over Scylla. You run past Scylla, like you see her up and with Morrigan on her shoulder, kind of going, "Oh fuck." She looks messed up.
She's like, okay.
Okay. You book it up the stairs. Belle is like pulling himself off the ground.
Oh, didn't feel good.
Jamie is coughing, kind of still laid out. She is bleeding from the head. Her arm is twisted at an odd angle. She is messed up. She took a full brunt of that. And the chest in the center of the room is a smoking debris mess. There is platinum pieces everywhere. Superheated platinum projectiles sent out, and they are melting currently in the suit and in the magical flames.
I pick up Belle. I say, "Can you hang on to my neck, please?"
Yeah, hang on. Don't put me up yet.
Oh,
Sheriff,
whoa.
Sheriff, this is gonna hurt. I'm really sorry about this. Yvain, you got something to bite down on real quick? All right, sounds good.
Fire around you.
I'm gonna take just something off of Yvain's belt, shove it in the sheriff's mouth, and go, "Sorry." And then I'm going to snap the sheriff's arm back into place and pump a second level cure wounds into her.
Okay, that's very
As I-
good, because from being in this room for the continuing amount of time, you've taken 7 more points of fire damage or heat damage. You are not
Okay.
currently on fire yet.
Sounds good.
Do we both take that?
Yes, you both
Okay.
She gets 10 hit points back.
do. Okay.
All right, Yvain, let's go not here anymore.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try to manage to have Belle like hang on to my neck and then pick up the sheriff and
Okay.
just carry her out.
I'm just gonna ask you to make a strength check. No disadvantage. Or sorry, an athletics check. Athletics check. No disadvantage because
Because I am small.
13.
13. Okay. All right. Yeah, you are able to scoop up the slight sheriff and Belle on your shoulders. Fine. You push down to the bottom and find Silhouette there waiting for you.
What was in the box?
Platinum, let's go. We have to get out. Come on.
We gotta put out the fire. It's gonna spread.
Well,
I
first we
didn't
gotta get
prepare
out
any
of
of
the
my
fucking building.
You book it out the front door and you turn to see the entire top of this little spire in this building just
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Keep in mind, a lot of this town is very packed in close together and made of wood.
You guys take care of this. I'm really sorry. And I'm going to Misty step back in. And I'm going to scoop the files that I had left on the desk.
Okay.
Like the autopsy files. If I have any ability to, I'm going to get the jar that Yvain was playing with.
Okay. The Mithril Moss.
Yep. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Nope, that was it. And then I'm gonna
make me
get
an
back out.
acrobatics check. It's just dexterity plus any kind of proficiency you might have and how dexterous you are.
9.
Okay. You are able to grab one of the files and the jar, or 2 files.
Yeah, I want the files.
Okay.
Holy shit, am I healing? Jesus.
And then I go goodbye.
Okay. You grab one of the files and book it out, and you grab the 2 files and book it out the door.
And hopefully my friends are not still standing there.
No.
But
So let's stop banging on the doors around, tell people to get out, and then I'm gonna try and go with the sheriff and find the. Is there a fire brigade here?
I don't know. I think we can. Oh no, sorry. She knows. No, we don't have a fire brigade, but we do have a well and water lines. Let's go. And
Okay.
she starts pounding the ground like and calling out, "Fire! Get a water line going!" People start coming out of houses. Farm hands start running in from different farms across town, getting buckets, going to the well, and starting to get a line going. It's very lucky that it rained the previous evening, and the wood is all currently soaked with water. It's taking a very slow time to spread, but it is spreading down that little spire and starting to move to other buildings. How are you guys? What are you guys doing in this moment?
Still banging on doors and getting people
Okay, so it's banging on
out of
doors.
the buildings.
Helping get this water, transporting water,
Transporting
buckets.
water. Bucket line.
There we go.
yeah, I hate myself. If you let me, I will have not run back out. But if I did run back, I'll run out, see everybody doing other things, being like, oh, "Fuck, I can't help with that." And I'm gonna go back inside, and I'm gonna start like trying to collect shit. I'm gonna open up the cold room. I'm gonna like try and get everything important that I can onto my person, and try and get the magic cold, to start flowing out of that room.
Yeah, okay. The fire is now spreading down. It's spread inside a lot faster than it's spreading outside, because inside is dry wood. A lot of dust as well. So I'd say you have about 2 rounds, 12 seconds. You have an action. You have 2 actions, a bonus action, and 60 and whatever 2 movements.
50.
Yeah, 50 feet of movement. So you're in there. You got 12 seconds before this is going to start getting hot.
Yeah.
And I'd say, yeah. So what are you going to do in those 12 seconds? 2 actions, 2 bonus actions, 50 feet of movement.
First thing, I'm going to clear as much as I can out of the front room and hit myself with a cure wounds, so that I have a little bit less dying happening.
Okay. So the front room being the
waiting room area.
There was absolutely nothing in there besides like
Wasn't like the journal and stuff in there too?
No, that was in the lab office.
The back room? Everything was in the back room?
Yeah. All
Great, sounds
like
good.
important medical information was in her like lab study room.
Then instead I'm going to leave the front door open, dash to that door, leave it open, and start collecting journal. I already had the 2 files. I will. Yvain, did you take out all of the jars of weird shit?
All the ones that were glowing.
And then you put them back? I'm gonna try and take all of the jars again.
Go ahead and make another athletics check or another acrobatics check.
Acrobatics. Surely I'll roll higher than a 4. Nope. Why did it roll again? Wow. I'm so confused by what happened, but I rolled a 1 and then I rolled a 4. So no.
Yeah.
But I did
you
heal
can
myself.
grab there are like 6 there. You can grab 2 of them. Do you just grab random ones, or are you taking your second action to really investigate?
I will take my second action to actually investigate.
Okay. You see the mithril moss there, and you grab that. You also grab something that looks sort of familiar to you, which is looks like some kind of dried powdered substance. And you just grab some of that as well. That's all the time you got. It's about to get hot in here.
Great. Sounds good. Oh my God, I'm so stupid. I hate everything. I'm going to take another round. I'm going to do a heavy sweep of the room, like scan, think for anything important. Like I'll use an action to do that on this 3rd round.
Take 12 points of fire damage.
Amazing. That's just what I healed up. So we go back down to 14 here.
Yeah. So go ahead and make an investigation check or
Okay.
perception. If you're not looking through stuff, just standing in one spot, looking around, give me perception.
Yep. Heavy sweep for something good. 12, because my wisdom is garbage.
There's a lot of fire and smoke in here, man. It's really tough to see anything. It's hectic. People are shouting outside. It's hot. You're hurting. It's burning. You have flames licking at your feet.
Yep. Okay. Sounds good. This was too long and a bad choice. And then I will use the bonus action on that turn to step myself out.
Okay. It's good because that avoids you from taking another 3d6. Which is what you would have taken every round you stayed in there.
Fuck. Okay. I got some shit. Oh, no one's here. What the? Oh, hi, people. Hi. Who are you?
Just people barging you out the way, trying with there are several people running through with large water buckets and are pouring it on the outside of surrounding houses to stop it from spreading, as well as getting the fire. It takes about 30 to 45 minutes, but the fire is subdued before it spreads too far. It seems that due to the structuring of the town, that this is something that they are prepared for just in case.
Sheriff didn't fucking know.
Yeah, they are able to get it under control with your guys' help, but y'all are pretty roughed up after that. And
I just realized my dog died.
Is now gone. What?
My dog died.
God damn it.
Your what?
The cat dog?
Ellie's dead.
Ellie's dead? Oh yeah.
Ellie had to have been dead. They have 1 hit. They have like 2 hit points.
Oh yeah, Ellie gone. That the egg is now full size again, and you see Ellie. You see a sort of pixelated representation of Ellie's face on it. Just
This is upsetting.
I
In a
miss
lot
you.
Feel guilty that you forgot about your pet. Feel guilty.
Constantly forgetting about her.
Oh no.
So yeah, it's been quite an eventful morning here in Flatborough.
This has been such a long day. I don't even think it's noon yet.
Sheriff Jamie kind of walks up to you 3 as you're sitting kind of leaning against a wall. And
I'm imagining the Matt and Marisha live stream after they came back.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly that. Exactly.
All her hair looks
that.
funny. There's like soot all over our faces.
Oh yeah, you guys are covered in soot. Your clothes are singed in places. Any non-magical items are like, potentially broken, as well as bones. Like you guys are aching. It hurts. It's like,
Can't believe I
needs
thought to
fixing?
use the magical sense thing downstairs, but not upstairs. God. Okay.
I was waiting for, are they going to check for traps? Are they going to use any magical sense? Like,
What doctor has a
No.
trapped box under their
The one that deals drugs. What high school science teacher makes meth, Alex?
you know?
if someone wants my money, they're going to die for it. And
That
no
sounds like
one's
a
going
really-
to get it. If it's not
Sounds like
my
a really
money, it's no
fucked
one's
up,
money.
Oof.
Sounds like one of those books. Oh god, my math teacher's a drug dealer, but it's really
Alex,
like
it's
my
just
math teacher's a
Breaking
werewolf.
Bad.
We don't get paid
See,
shit.
I
I
went-
could see it.
Yeah,
That's fair. Yeah, actually,
I-
after being a teacher, I was like, show's a little more relatable than it should have been. Oh well.
Anyway, yeah, Sheriff Jamie approaches you all and says, "What on earth happened?"
explosion.
The chest
Magic
was trapped.
Bomb. Even.
Oh, with a magical
Bomb.
fire spell.
Yo, that doctor
What
is
the
shady as
hell was
shit.
our
That person
doctor
called
doing?
this.
It was full of platinum. A lot of platinum.
Platinum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Do you
saw.
think it's all
Yeah,
melted?
it's all melted into the ground. Whatever's didn't evaporate.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to be removing that from the offices. Jeez, and now Janine doesn't have a place to work out of.
You got
You know,
6
at
months
this
before she's
moment-
here. It's probably okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, drum up some work for the people in town, get some money circulating in the local economy. Probably a good thing.
Oh hell, there's more stuff to do.
There's literally always more stuff to do. Welcome to the real world.
Yeah.
You ain't lying.
And unfortunately, that's really got us very close to nowhere. Well, it got us actually negative nowhere because my cloak was on fire and I do not have another one.
But we definitely know that the doctor was up to something.
Into some crazy ass shit.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe it was like less of a Breaking Bad situation than more of like a house situation. You know, like the doctor was doing the drugs himself.
I don't understand the references or know what's going on. But
It's a book, you know.
right.
I read that a lot.
Long story short,
I can tell.
maybe the doctor had no furniture or anything because she was busy buying the drugs that I'm holding right now.
Right. I will
Put
take
those
that,
away,
log that
Phil.
into evidence if you don't mind.
I do mind.
Well, I am the law around here. I will need to take that into evidence. I apologize for pulling.
All
that,
right. Would you
but
also like all of these files and everything else that I saved from there?
That would be appreciated as well. And thank you for saving the evidence. Good on you, son.
Yeah, no
Wait,
problem.
wait,
Quick
hold on.
question. Why didn't you take into evidence the first 2 times you were here?
Like I said, I was
Solid
waiting for
question.
help investigation, and I wasn't sure what was evidence and what was unnecessary. Like I said, it all happened kind of fast. Listen, we've had a rough day here. I
Yeah.
think criticisms can be saved for another time. You will all have free access to any evidence, but I just need to have it logged.
Okay. I will make a list
I think that would be
for the
helpful.
future.
Yeah.
Oh, I was saying of my grievances, but you know.
Oh,
we'll
I
talk
think
about
that would
later.
also be helpful.
Probably. I don't know what these jars are.
Right. I'll take those and see if I can have any. See if
Didn't
I
you
can-
say you opened that cabinet before and you didn't see fucking meth in it?
I saw an assortment of.
It's literally labeled.
It
It's
was at the back.
labeled.
It was at the back.
It was in the
to
back.
To be fair, it
This
was
cup
at the back.
sucks.
Above. You get the sense this is not this investigator
my
is
God.
very green.
This
Super
is
green.
like
She's young.
Honestly, I would
she's
read.
green.
I would read all the vials. Think if I was looking through it.
so the place is not on fire anymore, right?
No, it is it is currently smoking and not on fire.
Okay. Elaine, do you want to put me back on the roof so I can see what might be left in that bedroom or not?
No, I need to circle back to something with you. Did you run back inside?
Yes.
Why?
Well, yes, I did. I did do that. Well, because I don't know if you caught it or not, but the building was burning down, and there was stuff in there that was kind of important to the investigation because it's the only information that we had about either of the bodies that are probably now burned up. And
They
that felt like
were-
an important piece to get.
You're muted.
Nothing is more important than your life.
And yep, still got that.
Okay.
Also, Belvin, you're
Rob's
very
dead.
squishy.
I am squishy.
You are. Does he look like beat to shit?
Oh yeah.
Blood.
Like he's got a cut above on his forehead. He's got like burns all up and down. It looks healed, like it's scabbed over kind of thing, like he's hit himself with some healing, but he's still looking haggard.
If you really, really want to look inside the bedroom, I can climb up to the roof.
See, the thought was the fact that I weigh approximately the same as a backpack, and you weigh like many more backpacks than me.
We're not doing this now, then we can come back.
All right, sounds good.
There
For-
are
for-
there are other crime scenes, but I feel like this has been a day
Yeah.
already.
And the day is still young.
Yeah, currently it's about like noon.
Quite a day. Well, take
well-
a healing potion.
No, it's okay. While they're standing there, Morrigan will like kind of disappear and then reappear on Belle's shoulder.
Hop
Hello.
from shoulder to shoulder.
And if you wait the full 24 seconds, you can take 4d6 of healing.
Thank you.
Amazing. Yvain, this is a question that might not have immediate relevance, but will become a problem for us shortly if the answer is what I think it might be. How's how's the hammer looking?
Oh, my gray ox.
Oh,
how's-
that's what that. Right, the hammer's
Is
the
your
blunt
great
one.
axe magical?
I don't think so. I think it's just a great axe. Yeah, it's just
Did
a
it
great
get
axe.
exploded?
Roll me just a d20.
Oh, shit.
Exploded X.
Oh wow, natural 20.
Yeah, it survived.
Ooh.
That's a hardy axe, man. There's some chars on the wood. The metal's a little charred, but it's still solid in one piece.
My father helped me make this. Like, of course, it's the best.
Okay, just want to make sure because well, one of the platinum pieces went through the sheriff, and so I was a little concerned about the axe that sort of set it off because sorry about the arm thing, Sheriff.
Hey, feels fine now. So whatever
That's
you did
pretty
helped.
Magic.
Right. Well, I say we maybe pick this up either this evening or tomorrow. I need to sort things out here. If you'd like to proceed without me, feel free. The Merchant's Vardo's located directly behind my offices. And
we know exactly where that is.
I would assume so. Yeah, we'll call that a day, and we'll chat more. Y'all can proceed if you'd like, but I need to sort things out here.
I love that we investigated for an hour and somehow
We investigated for it was more like 2 hours and then like a half hour to an hour of firefighting.
Okay, we're gonna say a whole day of investigating. We messed it up in 1/8 of that day.
Oh. They'll go into the sheriff's place. Oh.
I have no memory of this place.
No memory of this place.
I have no memory of this place.
Belle had no memory of the doctor's office, much less the sheriff's
I have no
office.
memory of the enemy.
All right. So we're gonna. All right, we'll catch you later then, Sheriff. We're gonna be not here anymore.
Right. I'll see you soon. She heads off to sort out her town.
All right, where are we going?
Oh.
Where would you get those drugs in this area? I'm
Uh,
just very weirded out.
Oh,
Probably
Well-
Western.
They're from marshes.
Probably Western.
well, I did kind of buy some tobacco from God, why can I not remember Rick
Rick.
this morning.
Rick.
For the
Rick.
record, the tobacco he sold you looks completely different for the Mithril Moss.
Yeah, but he might know about some kind of connections in town.
Also, like, what kind of drug dealer labels their drugs?
A doctor.
Very organized one,
Yeah.
probably. So yeah, doctor, pretty much.
I don't know. It all seems rather really fucking weird. Because again, the enchanted wall, very expensive. But also, enchanting something with fucking fireball? That's insane.
I mean, it was a lot of money.
I mean, yes, but like, fireball?
It was a large. I'm not. You guys have no way of knowing how much platinum was in that chest, but it was a large chest, and yeah.
Most peasants have 5 hit points. I'm just saying. He's just a normal guy.
He's just a regular guy.
Some people have to be normal.
Okay.
So to the Vardo? To
Swear to
the
God, I thought you said to the bar.
Back to
I mean,
the
that
bar.
was the second one that I said.
No, I think that's a good idea. We should go to where this started.
Yeah. I would be interested in going to, we have no idea where it is because our sheriff has been wildly helpful in the very specific questions we've asked her, but no further information than that. I would be interested to go to our good friend Mr. Fig's house as well to see if he has any crazy expensive shit just hanging out in his presumably farmhandish life, as our good friend the doctor had a working magical laboratory here. But
So there
Vardo.
has to be some sort of connection to these people, right? Like, serial killers don't just go around. They're like, hey, that person looks good today. Let's fucking strangle them while I'm poisoning them.
I mean, maybe they were all working together, and then somebody else who was working with them caught. Maybe there was like infighting, killed them all, took the money for
In their
themselves.
town drama.
I don't know.
It is Gilmore Girls.
Dun, dun, dun.
Another one of your books.
Yes. It's
Silly,
just
you read a
about,
lot.
I read a lot of books. I had a very sad childhood. It was just about a lot of reading and no one talking to me.
Didn't
And
you grow up in the woods
I'm
or something?
guessing this conversation is taking place on the walk.
as we're walking, yeah.
yeah.
No, I grew up in the port. I was in Port Tamale. Do you think
Oh,
that all
that's right.
druids grow up in the woods?
Yes.
Okay, you know that's
Absolutely.
valid. I think a lot of stereotypes are hurtful, but I feel like that one is pretty true a lot of the time.
You may
I
have
didn't
been.
grow
You
up
may
in
have
the
been.
woods.
You may have been born and raised in Port Tamale, but most of your childhood was spent in the jungle.
In the jungle.
In
I
the
was
jungle.
jungle.
In the jungles around Port Tamale.
Yep.
I was raised by the timber cats.
Like a Mowgli
You were just-
situation.
Yep.
You Tally Porter and the third friend. I can never remember her name. One you sent a letter to.
Rail.
We
Rail,
just got him
yeah.
better.
Tally Porter and Ray, and you always used to go like exploring all around the jungles in Port Tamale. It was one of your
That tracks.
Pack of feral children.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
yes.
sure we got him to shit.
Pack of feral orphans and the one friend with parents. Anyway, but yeah, so you guys head back to the sheriff's office, and behind it you see the Vardo that has been dragged seemingly and parked in the rear of the
Question.
offices. Shoot.
What is a Vardo?
So a Vardo.
I've just been listening to this word the whole time, just being like, maybe someone will explain it eventually.
A Vardo is one of these. I'm gonna find a great picture of one.
I'm imagining like a Venezuelan bar on wheels.
Kinda.
Can't explain to you what that means.
This is images. It's in the images tab of
Look at that, using it for something
bingo.
other than the
Other than
sketch of
memes.
the first meeting.
In the first meeting, yeah. So that is a Vardo. Oh wait, hang on, I didn't send it yet. Boop.
God
Shit.
damn it, Mac.
Wait, hang on. What the fuck?
Listen, I worked so hard on that drawing of Belle upside down.
Dude, it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's so good. I love it. I love it so
I
much.
forgot that it existed, so
I'm
so
gonna
happy.
make
it's
that
I
the
was
in.
like, oh, I remember this.
I'm gonna make it that the landing page, I think, at some point.
Amazing.
But
Oh,
yeah.
it's the fucking thing from Stardew Valley.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Okay,
them,
I
their big
understand now.
carts from Elden Ring.
Yeah, Sinkwil.
I love
Sinkwil,
myself.
the-
I've never played Elden Ring.
Sinkwil the
That's
Elven
fair.
Salesman had one as well that like the side opened up to show all of his wares. And this one kind of looks like this. It's very decadent. It's very kind of like fancy and loud and a lot of gold painted trim and bright colors.
Is that like a new development that this is fancy?
Holy shit, I was really drunk. I would have noticed this. Holy fuck.
I mean, it was like parked out back. Like
We did not see this last night, Bill.
behind a string of buildings.
That is the piece of information that I was missing. Thank you very much, Scylla.
Hmm.
Right. Well,
All right, so let's go toss his shit, right? Like,
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it locked?
I mean, he's dead. Who cares?
there is a lock on it, but Jamie gave you a key.
it's like,
You want to
better-
break it again?
I was gonna be like, I don't know about this time.
I
Oh,
check
well,
it for
yeah.
traps.
Oh, man, again.
Honestly, Mac, you feel like that's gonna make us learn our lesson, but we're gonna forget about this in 30
not.
minutes.
Double down. We're gonna get to the sunken crypt level before we learn our lesson.
Oh no. Okay, I will unlock the door with the key
Okay.
and then open it slowly with like the handle of her great axe. Just kind of open the door.
Okay. So
we won't
Vane's
remember to
paranoid
check
now.
for traps, but we will be paranoid and traumatized.
all right. So inside
we're
the
so good at this.
Inside the Vardo, the smell of dust and still water and dried blood hang heavy in the air. There is a small kitchenette and a sitting area, as well as a small cramped bed. The place is a mess, just as messy about as the doctor's office. It's cramped, it's small, things are broken, knocked over. There are all sorts of bottles and jars of glass that have been shattered or broken in some way, plates and bowls. There's several cloth covered jars that have spilled, there's a blue, there's a pink checkered cloth. There's what looks to be the remnants of another meal as well on the table. This one clattered, the table not knocked over, but the meal itself dashed across it, and what looked like a dried sort of mush on the table.
No one gets to eat.
There's also another outline of the body slumped against the side of the Vardo, as well as a couple of red stains on both the ground, on both the floor and the furniture. That is all you see at an immediate first glance in the Vardo, and it is cramped. Yvain, especially, you are pretty like you step in and you're like hunched over, and like Belbin is the only one who can get past you. Yvain, Scylla's having a bit of trouble. So
Where did the farmhand die? Did the farmhand die on their farm?
the farmhand died in his home.
But we don't know where that is yet.
Well, no, you were yes, you were given an address along with the address of her his daughter's location.
Daughter.
Yeah.
Oh.
You were given
Great.
you were
Okay,
given that
cool.
address, and also I'm saying now you were given also the address of the crime scene.
Great. Cool.
And another key to that lock.
Great.
Okay.
You
All
guys are
right. Who
so
wants to look for illegal
detail-oriented, I love it.
drugs?
I would love to look for illegal
Phil
drugs.
looks for drugs. Yvain, what do you want to look for?
I want to look.
Can you do the ping again, or is that like a one-day thing?
I can do it one more time, and then I've only ever been able to do it 3 times a day. I could try and push it more than that, but I don't think it works more than 3. I could do it. You want me to do it here?
I mean, if it's going to help us find illegal drugs, I feel
Hold
like
on.
that's very
Hold on.
important.
Hold on. Before you do it, let's open all of the cabinets.
Okay.
Every cabinet, chest, whatever the fuck.
Why don't you all make an investigation check and tell me specifically, individually, what you are investigating or looking for?
Fucking rummage.
Let's rummage around, folks. God, I love that die rolling sound. That was so satisfying.
Holy shit.
This one's really satisfying too because they're like weirdly like glass, so it
4.
sounds
Big
nice.
4.
4.
Big
Natural
4.
20.
17.
All right. Start with Bell. What are you looking for, and what don't you find?
I think that the one idea I had going into this was to look for illegal drugs, and then he offered it up kind of hoping he would get to do it, and then Scylla was like, I'll do it instead. So Bella's gonna be like, this blood and this dried mush is very interesting, and make a big show of like inspecting the blood and the mush, because there was not blood or mush at the last crime scene. There were biscuits and no blood at the last crime scene.
I should say there was a single blood stain on the table.
There
Just
was
for
one blood
consistency's
at the
sake.
last crime scene, and there are 2 bloods here. Therefore, we will
Extra
inspect
blood.
the blood. Coin flip on which one I think is the extra one, but one of them is extra.
Okay. So you were looking at the dried mush and the blood. You notice these are definitely blood stains, and of some kind. Although there's something, there's blood in there, but there's something else as well. You can't
Cool.
quite tell
Tight
what
and
it
tight.
is. It's like bloody something, and then the mush, definitely some kind of food. Food anywhere. That's food. Probably porridge, maybe oatmeal. Scylla, what are you looking around for with your
Illegal
17?
drugs.
Illegal drugs. Not even difficult to find. This guy has plenty of different kinds of powders. He's got some sood. He's got several different kinds of sood. He's got
Give it to wax.
some very fine tobaccos and weeds as well for smoking. No mithril moss though. None of that in particular, but plenty of other very, very illicit stuff just lying around, not even well hidden.
There's no moss here, but this man has a lot of drugs.
This sheriff is really bad at checking evidence.
That's what I'm saying. Is it like negligence that's like intentional? Like, does she think that we're
don't know.
stupid, or is she stupid?
I don't know. You
She's
just think
probably
you'd
just
seize the
young.
drugs, though. But like, you seize the drugs. I know that, and I hate the cops. Like,
Yeah, I feel like even young people would know. How old is she? She cannot be that much
She
older
looks
than
like
me.
mid to like mid 20s.
Okay, we're like the same age. She's not that young.
She's grown up here her entire life, probably. Think about that. This kind of shit doesn't happen here.
I think it's
Okay.
really adorable that you think the best of this woman, but like I feel like some of it's a little just like common sense.
No, I know. I'm just.
I
I'm
know to
gonna
look
bet
for
that.
drugs.
I appreciate that you're defending her, you being the devil's advocate, but on the other hand,
On the other hand, she needs a fucking textbook, apparently. Yvain, what'd you find?
I
I'm
love
gonna-
how you guys assume that she's incompetent instead of I'm overwhelmed that I'm going to leave this to the professionals.
Yeah.
She is the
She
professionals.
did
This was the
call for
first one in
help.
town. She didn't know
this
other
is the
ones were
first
gonna
one.
die.
She did shit. I feel like
So-
you just like you walked in and you said it was just lying around. Like you'd be like, oh, okay.
You walked in. That's covered in cocaine. That's probably fine.
It's fine.
I think it's more like she just didn't think it was like it was already locked behind the sheriff's office. It's
Yeah.
like I'm making excuses for my NPC.
No, I mean,
Anyway,
it makes some
No,
sense. It's
Scylla's
just more
going-
fun
Scy-
this way.
Still mad at her. She's going to immediately say that she's shit, obviously.
She pissed
Beautiful.
it off last night.
I'm trying to defend
Yeah.
my NPC. Anyway, so yeah, so Scylla, yeah, you definitely find illicit drugs. Yvain, what are you looking for, Miss Nat 20?
I am looking for a business ledger.
A business ledger.
Is that a
You
smart thing to look for?
are able to
Not
find
drugs.
tucked under the feather mattress, a journal, a diary of his that he notes in every single day the progress of his ventures and exactly how he's doing. He's very meticulous, and he's also very, very confident in his ability to not get in trouble.
This is the slave trade sex house man, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
He in this notebook, he, you know, all of this entire town is a bunch of country bumpkins. He's got them all eating out of the palm of his hand. You kind of go through like the last final days, and you find some notes to the final entry. The last diary entry mentions it being a good day, that he feels he is making progress in winning over the town, especially after finally locking down the old bag. And he is going to probably have to bring a little bit more gold to smooth over Simeon.
I'm
Really
reading.
get Si-
I'm
he really
reading
wants
this
Si-
bit
he-
out
he
loud to
makes-
the others.
he makes a big deal about wanting to get Simeon on his side and thinking about exactly what he'd need and trying to figure out what he wants there. And
Lock down the old bag. Wonder how old was the doctor?
I was assuming it was the grandma, but you know.
I was assuming it was the bar lady.
3 different suspicions.
could be
Who is the
anybody.
old bag?
Who's the old bag?
Maybe
Is there like
maybe
is there
it's
like an
actually just a
asterisk?
maybe it's just like a rolling grocery bag that was
And he was
throwing
like, I
through the
finally
seats.
got it locked.
I got
you
it
know?
locked down. Yep. Took a
Like,
padlock,
trapped
attached it
trapped
to a
with
light
a
pole.
like a
Yep.
hamper.
And then, of course, wasn't he staying on Simeon's land?
Yep.
Simeon doesn't
Without
like
written
him.
permission. I'm pretty sure this is what the sheriff said. So
The information you were given is that he was paying Simeon to allow him to park on his land, and then he didn't hear from him for like 3 days, and so Simeon, being the old codger, got the big strong gourd farmer's son to come knock on the door, and the gourd farmer's son found him
Get
there.
off my lawn.
you know,
If you're not gonna pay me, get out of here.
And was he wealthy prior to being here?
Who? The merchant?
The dead guy. Yes.
You're not 100% sure. He seems to be like, it seems like this Vardo was his home, his life kind of thing. Like he didn't, it didn't feel like he was, this doesn't feel like a home away from home. This feels like home.
I'm telling you, it all leads back to Whitestone, guys.
Right.
This is it.
But like his whole shtick was trying to like get a piece of land on the road to like set up his brothel slave trade place, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So
Yeah,
like
the
he hadn't been
a
in town
house
for a
of
while.
sin. It was like a drug den, sex house.
Yes.
type of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe whoever killed everyone is like has like super high morals and finds out everyone is doing this bad thing. They're like, oh my god, the doctor is dealing drugs. That's so bad. Oh my god, this man wants to use sex slaves. I don't know. And they was like, oh my god, you're such shitty people. I'm going to murder you.
So like a vigilante sort of thing?
I don't know why they would kill the farmhand. Hey, maybe he was doing drugs. I don't know.
Hmm.
Who would be a vigilante? Maybe it's Wendy. She's the vigilante.
Hang on. Let's see how the
I
brain's
need the
working
spell Control F so I can find old bag
Cool.
in this journal somewhere.
right now. I mean, I hate to say it, but I feel like we need to follow Boulder Dash around.
No, you might be right.
Well, he had the. I know that it's Grandma Linda, her symbol, but he had the symbol of the Witch of the Woods, who was kind of like that whole vigilante anti-hero kind of person from like way back when. And if he's kicking around with that on his chest, maybe he's come into contact with someone, or maybe she knows something about it too.
Has the white stone in the earth been like a recent thing?
You were given the impression that it was within the time that since Dr. Stoll arrived in town.
So 15
So
years.
within the last 15 years.
Great.
And what was the information we learned about the golem? Have they always been the stone dude? Have they
Um,
always
Dash?
been awake? Yeah.
What do you? Sorry, what? I'm not.
Has he always been around?
He was. The story that Wendy told you was he popped up out of the woods and like kind of wrecked the town a bit. And like he kind of barged. He didn't wreck the town. He wrecked a farm. He like barged through one of the farms, like popping out of the woods. And Grandma Linda was able to use that symbol to basically make him like pacified, to sort of pacify him. And he's just been kind of wandering around the woods ever since.
When do you say when that was?
No, she didn't. It was just said. She just said
Before.
Yeah.
In the before times.
Some time ago.
I'm just thinking, Alex, saying that this is the white stone in the soil. It brought Boulder Dash back to life, like revived his magic.
Maybe.
And that's what could have been happening with this killer. It's like a spirit of some kind, and is. Guys, I got so many conspiracy theories. They're just all bouncing around like little ping pong balls in my head. And none of them are like any normal.
Scylla is Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny.
Literally, I got the bulletin board.
With a cigarette in one hand and the fucking.
It all starts with Grandma Linda. Who is Grandma Linda?
No,
Oh,
I
it
think- I
sounds
think
like Grandma
you're
Linda
right,
might
Val.
be
I think we should
the
go.
next person to talk to.
Yeah, I think we should find her.
How do we find her?
Uh,
Did we see her last night?
No.
Fuck. Did we see anybody else last night, or was it just our new best friend?
New best friend.
Shit. Okay, well, I guess we gotta figure out how the fuck to get to Grandma Linda's. I'm pretty
We
sure
could
most
ask
people in
Wendy.
town kind of fucking hate us right now because we
We
set
could
their
ask
town
Wendy.
on fire. But
Wendy doesn't hate us.
that's good to know. Glad that didn't change.
I mean, I don't have any proof that she doesn't hate us, but I can't see why she would.
Is there anything that we need to look at here before we go?
Yep, definitely is. I want to go look at the underside of the Vardo.
Okay.
Ooh.
Like I want to get out and look at the bottom of it.
Okay. Make a perception check.
It's almost as good as I can roll. 16.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to slip under there very easily, and actually, from your very specific vantage point, you're able to get a new kind of angle and see that it is actually the bottom of a Vardo, and that's it.
Yep,
It's
good
the
shit
bottom of
down
a Vardo.
here. Good shit down here. Glad I spent some time down here. This was a really helpful piece of information.
Your
We're gonna lock that
one
away.
good roll was nothing to find.
I threw it out there as like a fuck it. I'm gonna
Mary.
act like I know what I'm doing, and hopefully something will happen again. So
Oh, man.
Can I take a look around before we go and like see if there's like, I don't know, any weird like symbols carved into the wood anywhere, or like anything
Okay. Yeah.
anything odd? That's very vague, but like
Sure. Give me an investigation check.
so many investigation checks.
actually,
Or
before we
perception
go
if you
find-
want. Investigation or perception. I'll let you choose. Just shake it up.
I wonder which one the druid will choose.
It's perception. 16.
16. You don't notice any symbols or anything. You do notice a what looks like a symbol of the traveler hanging
Fucking
on the
course.
wall. Hanging on the wall.
Is there just a dick there too somewhere?
It's artfully hidden.
He has a whole crate of like dildos, like just in like one of the, just in case
100%.
someone needs
Um,
one.
Dan
Yeah,
of sin.
you see a symbol of the
Yeah.
traveler. Bar that, nothing else. But something does stick in your mind. Was something Bell was looking at earlier. He was noticing the blood stains and that mush that was on the ground. There's something about that sticks in your head. You can't quite put your finger on it, but there's just something about that.
I am the most brilliant investigator. Ahead of my time.
Is the bloodstain like? What's the bloodstain look like? Like fleck pattern wise, like how was he like struck down?
Does it look like a
is
turkey or
It is a
And like,
a splatter.
like a
pool.
a splatter.
It
Okay.
is a splatter pool. It looks like something was. It looks like it was like almost poured in a single spot and it splashed out.
Like big glob, and then
Yeah.
that's how much blood is it? Like is it a lot of blood? Like
I'd
he had like
say-
a big old like a loogie, and like it's just
No, I'd say about like about a puddle that big maybe.
that's
Like a stain
fair.
that big, like a solid puddle.
That's
And Bell did mention that it was blood and something else. It's not.
there's something there.
It's not just straight up blood. It's like bloody something.
And that over there is probably oatmeal.
You said that
Can
he
I-
was cooking, right? It looked like there was a meal being prepared.
Yes, there was a meal prepared at the table, dashed across it.
Being eaten. Well,
It looks like it was about
Past the cooking
half
station.
eaten. It had been half.
Yeah.
It looked like a bowl of something that had been half eaten. There are some jars of looks like additives. It looks like a jar of brown sugar, some honey, some
this
like
bitch got brown sugar in here.
he's got
Got
brown
a
sugar. He's got
nutmeg.
honey. He's got white sugar. He's got some like cloves and stuff. He's just got some additives for his porridge or something.
the mush doesn't look like Scylla touched it, right?
The mush? No. I
Yeah,
mean, it looks
Okay,
like
cool.
it looks like.
I didn't
moldy
want to be the
food.
cause of all
It-
this.
it
I
does
don't
look
think
like-
she could take that.
It does look like moldy food, but nothing that you would have ever done.
Okay.
Amazing.
Cool. That's a lot of blood to be like. They didn't when we examined the bodies. It said that there was something around the throat and then something around their mouth, but not in like a you
blunt
got
force trauma
stabbed
control.
kind. Yeah, it was like blunt,
There
not
was
not slicing.
in the autopsy report. There was when the bodies were brought in. There mouths and the fronts of their bodies were all covered in blood.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if all of their organs simultaneously failed, then yes, like blood from the nose and the mouth and all that.
I mean, it clearly looked like they were all ingesting something
Yes.
because they were all eating.
Mac, this is a
Or
weird
drinking.
retroactive question.
Shoot.
That Belle wouldn't have been involved in at all, actually. Had the doctor's body been cleaned up at all? Or was she just like put in the case?
It looked like it looked like somebody had like tried to wipe like the blood away, but hadn't like done a proper cleaning the body job. They
Cool.
just took her clothes off, set her under the blanket and in the slab and kind of like wiped her down a little. But like
Gotcha.
it was still kind of stained. It wasn't as clean as the other two bodies. The other two bodies looked like meticulously medically cleaned.
Right. Yeah. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, so I know we need to go talk to somebody else, surely. But I'm hungry.
There are some really scary noises going on outside my house. So if I'm murdered by like a bunch of clowns,
What?
it's really scary. Like I don't.
Hey,
Mac,
excuse me?
Max, stop the
Like,
immersion,
I-
Max. Stop
like,
the
it
immersion,
looks
Max. Stop it.
like-
Stop it now.
It sounds like.
Okay,
what it
so if
sounds
you
like.
get abducted by aliens,
Is
then
the door locked?
Go
Actually, you
shut
can
the
see my
door.
front door. from right
yeah,
there.
shit. If anything happens, we'll see it.
You'll see the door open.
All right. Well, what is the next step for you guys? Where are you guys headed next?
Oh, I had one more question. I'm
Shoot.
sorry.
Shoot.
Did it look like this? Was it the same way as the doctor's house or office where it looked like there had been a scuffle of some kind, or was it
Yes.
just okay?
Yes, I would say now that you've seen two of them, it definitely looks similar. It looks like something's been like bull in a china shop kind of thing. It doesn't look like it's been tossed. It just looks like, bodies were thrown around and, or just things were knocked over and broken and just like the throes of something.
Okay. Okay. Oh,
Lunch
what should we do?
or grandma's?
In my experience, nans tend to feed you, but we might not want to bet on that.
I don't know if she's like a real grandma or if she's like just got the label. Like, auntie's not my real aunt, but trying to goes with. She'll probably have food. She'll probably have food.
Do we want to impose on someone though?
Why don't we
That's
steal
literally
food
what
from
we're
this
best
guy, from this dead guy?
Because
it's
I'm pretty
probably
sure
some
Gotta
most of
have
it is-
snacks.
Yeah, but
Some
it's been sitting
jerky.
here for like weeks.
Stella,
Also, it might be covered in drugs.
poison?
Oh yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's a good. Maybe we shouldn't be eating anything here.
But I'm hungry, and we had breakfast like 3 hours ago.
Do you
Well,
do you have?
The
We
last party I played through this arc with literally refused to eat or drink anything in the town. And within being in the town for the first 5 minutes, two of them already broke that rule.
Have you fucking met me? I'm gonna keep eating.
I mean, we still have rations.
But those are so bad.
Didn't you buy pies or something?
You think I still have those?
I don't know. I don't know your
Still,
consumption of pies.
Still, my sweet summer child, you've seen me eat pies several times now. They're gone.
Should I
so far gone.
should I take a good berry or something for next time when I can switch my spells?
Where are you guys going?
Does it make full berry pies? I'm confused.
Oh,
Let's go talk to grandma. She'll probably have food. If she doesn't have food, we can get snacks afterwards. And by snacks, I mean at least a full lunch.
Okay.
And
all right.
seems like a valid
Let's
compromise.
go ask Wendy where grandmother is.
Oh, and she'll have food there, and I'll have something to eat. Great. I like this idea even more.
All right. So you guys
To Wendy.
leave the Vardo, locking it up behind you, and start heading off to strong brows, strong brews. Talk to Wendy, maybe grab something to eat, and then off to talk to Grandma Linda. And as you guys head off, that is where we will end tonight's session. Damn, you
Very
guys.
nice. Very nice.
You guys are investigating.
Investigate.
We're so smart.
So smart. It's almost
Brilliant.
like our
Honest to God,
intelligence is so high.
it's not your it's honestly not your guys' fault if you're confused. I have done this specific arc 3 different times. This is my 4th run through with this arc, and I have had to make it more complex every single time because it was way too easy before.
Oh man.
Like it was.
Is it a demon that's coming back to reclaim its packs?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
yes, it
I
is.
had a really dumb thought. I was like, they look like they're being poisoned, but yet there's a scuffle. And so I'm wondering, was somebody there with them while they were eating, or did like the explosive nature of the poison, was it magical? Did it send out like waves of magic? I'm right there with you, Alex. I have really
Yes.
dumb, weird, complicated
My
ideas.
first thought was it's a roper that's choking them while also putting a vine down their throat.
Yes. That's it. That's what it is.
I love running ropers, so
Mac is like, yes, that's exactly what it is. Ignore this notebook on the side here for the next time I do this. Hang on.
Oh man.
I mean,
Well-
my only logical theory is that the white stone has poisoned the food, and it's like making crazy demons come out. Stop making that face, Mac. I saw you do it twice tonight.
What face? What face are you talking about?
I think the
It's
doctor was
definitely the
paid
white
to do
stone. I've been
something
right since day
super
fucking one.
nefarious.
Say what? What was that, Yvain?
I think that the doctor was paid by some higher authority to do some tests on the town and the people. I think it's
Remind me,
super
Mac.
fucked up.
Did what's Whitmore ask us to steal her notes?
Yeah.
They were asked to procure her research
Steal,
Bu-
yeah.
by either by way of flattery or underhanded means if necessary.
And it was. Did he tell us what the research was? I remember getting really sus vibes and being like, that's weird.
The specific research was in there are some herbs that grow in a specific location that Adrian Ashton something, whatever the guy's name is, I can't remember his name is, Whitmore. Yeah, Whitmore said his master
Adrian.
was interested in gaining those herbs for his own work and needed that specific location. You were given the name, and I'm blanking on it now. I think I'll have to go back and watch that. But
Sussy buck.
yeah, so you were definitely specifically asked to gain to pick up some of her research.
Which is now on fire, correct? Or did Belle grab it?
Yeah, none of you guys were looking for research in there. You were all just looking for clues and information on the murders.
Maybe it was in the cold boxes, right? You can't burn magic items.
Maybe
so
it
it'll be
was
fine.
in the chest that exploded.
And then it would have been on fire. Yeah. hmm
No,
Well-
fire famously only goes outwards, not inwards.
Well, guys, I'm gonna end the recording there. But so I hope you guys had fun. Say bye to YouTube. Bye.
Bye,
Maybe.
YouTube.
Bye.